between the Kernels and the Swing of the Quad Cities will unfold in just a few minutes. The series even at a game apiece. It's a Buck a Cup Thursday, meaning 12-ounce draft beer, 12-ounce sodas, or slushies are only $1. And we have beautiful weather here for Bowman Woods Elementary School night. And as promised, it's our second interlude with Colonel hitting coach Eric Owens. Eric talked hitting with us, his philosophy, his desire to help our young fellas, how he goes about it. That was yesterday or last night's topic. This evening we promised we'd talk some about Eric's time, his 9 years in the big leagues, but we're even going to have a prelude to that, Eric, because ironically enough, the Cohawks have reached the Division III College World Series in baseball for the first time in several decades, and you played Division III baseball. You're familiar with the Division III philosophy.
Division III baseball is a whole lot better than what most people think, and a lot of times there are some guys that get that are diamonds in the rough that ends up in Division III schools, and it's a very good division because when I would play Division III, I mean, we still played the likes of Virginia Tech and Old Dominion and VCU and teams like that. So a lot of people don't really understand what Division III is, but it's a very good competition league.
Eric, one of your teammates has become a marquee closer over the last 8 or 10 years, and tell us about him.
I guess you're talking about Billy Wagner. Yeah, he's with the New York Mets now, and he was my roommate in college. And everyone always asks, how do you two guys end up in Division III schools? Well, it just so happens to be, I don't think it really matters where you start, it's where you finish. And Billy's doing a great job right now for the Mets, and he's done a great job for Houston and the Phillies. And he's one of the premier closers in the big leagues, and I tell you what, it's amazing how he started off throwing right-handed when he was 5 years old, and he broke his arm twice, so he started throwing left-handed, and then by the grace of God, he throws 100 miles an hour left-handed.
Amazing story about Billy Wagner. Now, E.O., I put the cart ahead of the horse, as I do sometimes in my excitement, the name of your Division III school and what kind of success you had from that school.
The Division III school was Ferrum College, and it's near Roanoke, Virginia, just tiny little college in the Blue Ridge Mountains. So it's a very beautiful atmosphere. It wasn't a lot to do. You could go to Roanoke, I guess what's called the big city, which you guys in the Midwest should know about, like Cedar Rapids and places like that. And we really, myself went there wanting to play football and baseball, and so I ended up playing baseball and getting stronger by lifting weights through football, and ended up being a two-time first-team All-American and Division III Player of the Year in the United States.
At Ferrum College in Virginia.
Yes, at Ferrum College in Virginia. It's amazing how, I got to go to the Olympic trials. I was one of the last guys cut at the Olympic trials, and they had to take a guy from Division III, and it was a pitcher that they took instead of an infielder, which was fine with me, but the experience was great.
Well, former Angel lefty star Jared Washburn, who signed as a free agent with the Mariners, of course, came from Wisconsin Oshkosh, a great Division III program. And, E.O., before we leave the Division III realm, how did the scouts go about looking at you and Billy Wagner? Did they come to some of the games that you would play against the big schools? Did they wait until you played in the Division III College World Series, or did they find you and Billy Wagner at a place like the U.S. Olympic Trials?
Well, I think the thing that really happened with us is there's a couple guys that got drafted when I was a freshman there, and so the scouts got to see those guys. But what I did every summer is I went to every tryout camp that I could go to just so I could put my name on the map, and I ran real well and I hit real well there. So that got them to come watch me play, and by me playing football, it really helped me out a lot also because they could see what type of athlete I was, being able to play two sports, even though it was a Division III program. So I went to every tryout camp that I could, and they started coming watching, and then I got drafted in the 4th round, and as they were watching me the year I got drafted, obviously Billy was pitching a lot that year, so that really upped his stock. So I told Billy, he ought to give me a little bit of the money that he's made because I think I deserve just a little bit of it.
Well, sure, you blazed the trail for Billy Wagner. You sure did. Eric Owens is reflecting on his time at Division III Ferrum College, where he was Division III Player of the Year. It's in Virginia, and we started with that because of the success of our hometown Division III team, the Cohawks, making it to the Division III playoffs, NCAA. Eric, as far as your time in minor league baseball, where did you play?
I started off playing in Billings, Montana, and then I went to, I was in the Cincinnati Reds organization, got drafted by Cincinnati. I went to Billings, Montana in 1992, played there, then went to Winston-Salem in 1993, which was high A ball. Then I went to AA Chattanooga in 1994, and in 1995 I went to AAA Indianapolis, and ended up making it to the big leagues that year.
95, I understand you were the International League Most Valuable Player. Do you remember any of your numbers that earned you that?
Of course not. Yes, obviously you always do when it's something like that. I think I ended up hitting like 320, had like 35 stolen bases, 12 home runs, and I was a leadoff hitter and played second base. And it was an honor for me to be able to win that award. And I tore my ACL August the 20th, so I lost about 3 or 4 weeks of the season there towards the end, and still won the MVP of the league. I think one of the most gratifying things was I got to start and lead off in the AAA All-Star game for the National League, which is pretty impressive. You see the big league All-Star game, which everybody would love to get to, but to be able to do it at AAA level still was quite an honor.
Yeah, ESPN now carries the AAA and AA All-Star games. It's that big a deal. Eric Owens is with us on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. It's a fascinating insight into his Division III background, how he was excellent at Ferrum College, Division III Player of the Year. And Eric, before we take a break, minor league travel at the AAA level. I've had some people tell me that they'd rather take the buses we take here at this level than the rigorous, non-chartered type you fly commercially, I understand. What is your feeling on how difficult AAA baseball travel is compared to what we have to do?
Compared to here in the Midwest League, I definitely think AAA travel is probably harder because you have to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, go to the airport, stay at the airport, check in, and like you said, get on a commercial flight. And usually there aren't direct flights, so you would go from, say, Indianapolis to Chicago and wait 2.5 hours in that airport for your next flight, and you're getting in at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, just enough time to check in the hotel, put your bags down, grab a bite to eat, and go to the ballpark. Whereas, there are some leagues like the Southern League, which I played in AA. I prefer to be in AAA where the flights are. But there's quite a few leagues. The Pioneer League in Billings, that's a tough bus trip because everything is so far apart. You're looking at 8 to 10 hours of bus riding and trying to sleep on a bus. It gets pretty difficult, and it really lets these guys grow up in a hurry because they have to get up and perform the next day.
Oh, yes, and they say the hunter fights hungrier when the hunter is hungry, and the conditions in the minor leagues travel-wise are very, very difficult. We're going to take a break on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show and wrap up our second interview with Eric Owens, talk about a little bit. We'll just scratch the surface on his time in the big leagues. We'll do that after this. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Communications Triple Play, voice, video, and data with South Slope Cooperative in North Liberty. South Slope's lineup features everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and digital video TV service in most areas. For all your communication needs, think South Slope. Visit them at southslope.com.
Eric Owens with us for the second time in succession on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. And, EO, we're going to have to divide your big league career up a little bit and get a third session with you on our next road trip to our commuters to Davenport and Clinton, because you're a great interview and it's been fun talking to you. You're a rookie with the Cincinnati Reds, and I believe you got to play for both Ray Knight and Jack McKeon. I understand Ray Knight had a problem with his temper. Want you to tell us yes or no, and that Jack McKeon, well, look what what he did with the Marlins when he came in as a grandfatherly figure a couple of years ago. What about those two guys?
Well, I when I first came up in 1995, I was only up for 3 days, but Davey Johnson was the manager then, and then 1996, Ray Knight was the manager. And I really can't say about his temperament back then because I was just a rookie, just trying to get by. Whereas now that I look back on it, he was a great coach, and even though he was the bench coach a few years back for Cincinnati when I was still playing, and he really took me up underneath his wing. And he was a rookie manager, and I was a rookie up there, so I have nothing but good things to say about Ray because it is a tough job managing up there. And when you're losing as a manager up in the big league level, there's a lot of pressure being put on you. Jack McKeon is a great guy. I mean, he knew baseball inside and out. He had the great stories of baseball, and and I appreciate everything that the Reds organization had for me because if it wasn't for the Reds drafting me, I'd have never got the chance.
Yeah, that's very true. We always remember that entity, that company, that school, that individual that gave us the opportunity. A couple of guys that I know our listeners would love to hear about because they both played here, EO, as Cedar Rapids Reds, and those would be Eric Davis and Reggie Sanders. Reggie's made a marvelous career for himself. He seems to jump to a new team every year, and that's just the way his career has progressed. Eric Davis, of course, was a five-tool player. What can you tell us either about your friendship with those fellas or some of the things they could do on a baseball field?
Well, when I got to the big leagues as a rookie with Cincinnati, Reggie was the right fielder, and Eric Davis had came back from, I think, from the Dodgers, the Dodgers or Detroit, one or the other, and they both just took me up underneath their wings, and then they took care of me. They took me out to eat and just tried to show me the ropes of the big leagues, and still at this day, I see Reggie. He lives in Arizona now, and I see him around quite a bit. So we're still good friends. We talk a lot, and Reggie has compassion for the game, and he really has. He's really turned his career around. There about 5 or 6 years ago, they thought it was going to be his last year, and he's really done well with St. Louis and Kansas City struggling, and he's hurt right now, which I saw. But Reggie's a competitor, and you got to give him credit. He's got a couple World Series rings, and he's been in the playoffs quite a bit.
Yes, he's had a marvelous career, as has Eric Davis, or did. And finally, EO, a couple of guys, did you have any idea when you were a Red that Brett Boone would have those breakout years with Seattle down the road? And should Barry Larkin be in the Hall of Fame? You were teammates with both.
Brett Boone, that you could see, even when he was with the Reds, I played with him in Cincinnati, I played with him in San Diego, and I also was in spring training with him in Seattle. So I had all my fill of Brett Boone that I needed. He could flat out swing the bat, and he had a couple of good years in Seattle to where it seemed like everything just fell into place for him, and I was happy to see that happened for him. The second part of the question is Barry Larkin is the first ballot Hall of Famer. The 30-30 that he put up, and just what he did in the community, and being with one organization as long as he was. What a class guy! I mean, that's probably one of the most influential guys that I played with that really helped my career out.
Eric, thank you so much. When we do get to our commuters next week to Davenport and Clinton, we're going to talk about what life is like in the big leagues, your favorite cities, your least favorite places to go, what your wife liked to do when you would take her to the big city, also your time with the Padres and the Brewers and the Mariners and the Angels. We have a lot more ground to cover. Eric, this is a real treat for our listeners to hear the perspective of a guy who earned everything he got and played 9 years in the big leagues and is now giving back to the game. Eric, once again, we want to send you away with a fabulous $5 gift certificate to any of our Zio Giano spaghetti houses. They'll cater to one person as they do to our Kernels in the clubhouse or to 10,001. Pasta that will make you sing at Zio Giano's. EO, thanks so much, and we'll get together with you next week on the Commuters.
I refuse to do any more interviews unless we get more than 4 hits tonight. Thank you.
And we'll stand by that statement. Yes, sir. Eric's alluding to the offensive clamps that the cold offense last night that saw the Kernels collect just 1 run on 4 hits. We'll turn it around tonight in Game 3. I'll have the starting lineups, Kernels in swing when we return. This has been Kernel Base, the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show on the Kernel Radio Network.
Internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone Triple Play, voice, video, and data with South Slope Cooperative in North Liberty. South Slope's lineup features everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and digital video TV service in most areas. For all your communication needs, think South Slope. Visit them at southslope.com.
It is a wonderful, delightfully, lovely, cool evening here at the ballpark. 67 degrees. It's Game 3 of a 4-game series, part of an 8-game homestand here at the ballpark. The Kernels squaring off with the Swing of the Quad Cities, who evened this series at a game apiece, shackling the Kernel hitters on just 4 base hits last night en route to a 5-1 victory. The Kernels won the opener here Tuesday night, 7-2. Welcome to our broadcast, Eastern Iowa, and for those of you that are tuned in from coast to coast on the Internet, it's the Cost Cutters Dream Team members that have taken the field. They're from Bowman Woods Elementary School and Madison Elementary School. We're set to bring you the starting lineups for this third game of the series, tied at a game apiece. First, for Keith Mitchell, first-year skipper of the St. Louis Cardinal affiliate here in the Midwest League. Keith Mitchell's lineup for the Swing, a record of 16-21. Daniel Nelson will lead off, switch hitter, third baseman, fourth in the league with 12 stolen bases. Batting second, he clubbed a home run in the 3-run Swing ninth last night to close the door on the Kernels. Second baseman Jose Martinez bats second. Hitting third is the league's 10th leading hitter, Colby Rasmus, 19-year-old first-round pick by the Redbirds last year. Rasmus will be in center field. Randy Roth is the league's leading home run hitter with 11. Roth will bat cleanup and be at first base tonight for Quad City. The catcher is batting fifth, Brandon Yarborough. Yarborough is sixth in the league with a .323 average. Seeing his first action in this series, batting sixth for the Swing, right fielder Matt Wilkerson. Luis Cotto will play shortstop and bat seventh. Hitting eighth, A.J. Van Slyke, the designated hitter. He got the Swing 3-run ninth inning started last night with a pinch hit leadoff single. And batting ninth in left field for Quad City, Casey Roulette. On the hill is lefty Adam Daniels. Adams making his first start in 3 weeks after suffering a strained hamstring, doing some conditioning running. And Adam Daniels, a 23-year-old from Vancouver, British Columbia, hurled collegiately at Oklahoma State. He was a St. Louis 15th-round draft pick last year. Adam Daniels, a lefty on the hill with a 1-3 record and a 5.57 earned run average. Daniels last pitched in Davenport April 25th against Beloit, and he was a 6-5 loser in 5 innings. He gave up 6 runs, only 3 earned, though, on 7 hits, fanned 7 in 5 innings, walked 1. Adam Daniels, a 6'2" lefty, a Canadian, on the hill for the Swing. As always, Allen Motor Company is proud to present the Kernel starting lineup. You can visit Allen's virtual showroom at www.allenmotor.com. Allen's is open late until 9 o'clock tonight, and your first year's maintenance is free when you purchase a 2005 Buick Century, 2005 Buick LeSabre, or 2006 Buick Rendezvous at Allen Motor Company. That's right, your first year's maintenance is on Allen's. Allen's is open until 9 o'clock this evening. I-380 Boyson Road, exit 25 in Hiawatha. The Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup, leading off the center fielder, Brad Kuhn, 14 steals, second highest in the league. Heinle Stacia, the Kernel switch-hitting shortstop, will bat second. Hitting third is the league's leading RBI man, designated hitter, Jordan Renz, will bat third. The Kernel cleanup batter in the Allen Motor Company lineup is at second base, Dallas Morris. Batting fifth, Flint Whipke, the catcher. Stantrell Smith will be in left field for the second straight night. Stantrell will bat sixth. The Kernel first baseman, Mark Trumbo, will hit seventh in the Allen Motor Company order. Hitting eighth, the third baseman, Travis Schlichting. Madison Edwards will bat ninth in right field. Madison playing for the first time in this series. Rounding out the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup on the hill, 18-year-old right-hander Tommy Mendoza. Tommy's thrilled to have his mom and dad here, Nelson and Angelina from Hialeah, Florida. Tommy's 1-4, a 4.56 ERA, and he's making his ninth start of the year. Well, that's the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup. Let's now join public address announcer Dale Brote. He's going to introduce a fine-looking group of 4th and 5th graders from Bowman Woods Elementary School. They'll honor America by singing the Star-Spangled Banner.
Ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, please join in the singing of our national anthem. It is being performed this evening by the Bowman Woods 5th grade chorus, directed by Diane Beach.
Of the finest young 5th graders from Bowman Woods Elementary School singing the Star-Spangled Banner. They even had a youngster as a flag bearer. The chorus was aligned right behind the dirt batting circle facing the backstop, and they had a classmate holding an American flag with his back to the screen, and that was a special touch from Bowman Woods Elementary School. Anderson and Brown Eye Care, as always, sponsors our umpires. Anderson and Brown Eye Care is open evenings and Saturdays for your convenience. Easy in, easy out. Doctors Tom Anderson and Todd Brown are ready to serve you. Anderson and Brown Eye Care is a full-service eye care center. Exams, glasses, contact lenses. It's wheelchair accessible for both the building and the exam rooms. Things are coming into focus at Anderson and Brown Eye Care. I-380, Boyson Road, exit 25 in Hiawatha. There was plenty of action this afternoon on the State Farm Major League scoreboard, and Colonel Broadcast Assistant Luvita Hill, who's hurriedly herding off the members of the Cost Cutters Dream Team. They're handing Luvita their Sharpies. Luvita will have a complete look at the afternoon action on the State Farm Major League scoreboard a little bit later this evening. We're ready for baseball. 67 degrees, our game time temperature, and a rather brisk breeze blowing in from left center field towards the first base foul line, much like last evening. The leadoff batter for the visiting swing, switch hitting Daniel Nelson. Tommy Mendoza rocks and delivers. And a ground ball to second. This should be easy for Dallas Morris. He throws out Daniel Nelson. And a good start for the Colonel 18-year-old right-hander. Tommy gets the speedster Daniel Nelson to roll out to second. Nelson, a switch hitter, was batting left-handed, and last night he went 1 for 5. He drove home a run and scored in Quad City's big 3-run ninth inning. One away on one pitch, and now Tommy Mendoza will face Venezuelan hitting Jose Martinez, who fakes a bunt. There's strike one called, a fastball. The Kernels aligned defensively on the infield, left to right, Schlichting at third, Stacia and Morris up the middle at short and second, Mark Trumbo at first. And a pitch in on the batter's hands, and Jose Martinez fights it off and rolls it foul underneath the outstretched arms of his skipper, coaching at third, Keith Mitchell. Martinez is a right-handed batter, and he's 5'11", 175. Belted his second home run of the year last night. A fastball just missed outside, and that's ball one to Martinez. Jose put the game on ice for the swing with a 2-run homer in the ninth inning last night. Jose Martinez in the hole, 1-2. Breaking pitch, and he waved at it. Strike three swinging. That was not to be critical of Jose Martinez, but to show you how, or to describe what a great pitch it was for Tommy Mendoza. Jose Martinez swung like a rusty gate, and Nelson Mendoza, Tommy's father, I don't know if you're familiar with that term because you grew up in Cuba, but when a guy looks fooled on a pitch, we say he swung like a rusty gate. Have you ever heard of that?
Yes.
Well, that's what Tommy made the batter do.
Yes.
Here's a strike call to Colby Rasmus.
I will speak to Tommy today, and he's going to be all right.
Oh, yes. He's been tremendous all year. This ball club has had great starting pitching. Rasmus breaks his bat and dumps it over the head of Schlichting for a 2-out single. How's that for Colby Rasmus? That's his 7th hit in the series. Tommy came right in on his thumbs, and Colby blooped it over the outstretched arms of Travis Schlichting into shallow left for a 2-out broken bat single. Well, Nelson Mendoza, thank you so much for your kind and generous thank you card from you and your wife Angelinos. Some beautiful, beautiful 100% cotton 2XL shirts. I will treasure that generosity and gift. Not only the gifts, Nelson, but the thought behind it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Here's a high fly ball into right center. Brad Kuhn underneath it, and Randy Roth, the league's leading home run hitter, has flown out to center to end the inning. Well, Nelson, before we take a break, are any of the butterflies calming in your stomach yet?
Well, I always for 45 years. Uncle told me for 20 years. Every time that he's preaching, I can't control myself.
And that's understandable.
And like I said, God gave to me this opportunity next to you. You are a great person.
Well, thank you.
Like I said before. And I don't know. I can imagine that watch my son pitching and
it's a thrill.
Saying it by radio.
It is very nice that he...
I want to say thank you to all the guys in Miami that listen to me right now, especially Claudia, Tommy's girlfriend, and his family. I said I love you from here for the Cedar Rapids. And let's go.
Let's go. In the first half inning, no runs for Quad City, a 2-out broken bat single, no Colonel errors. The swing leave one aboard, and after one half inning, Quad City nothing, and the Kernels coming to bat. This is Colonel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network. Now...
Cedar Rapids' oldest wholesale greenhouse is also Cedar Rapids' full-service landscaping and lawn care center. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has been serving Eastern Iowans for 50 years at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road, behind Guppy's on the Go. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has a full line of trees and shrubs like magnolias, maples, and lilacs. And for a limited time, buy any potted tree and Cedar Rapids Greenhouses will deliver and plant it free. If you're searching for the right beautification project, let the trained landscape designers at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses help you create a unique plan for your home. From retaining walls to ponds, waterfalls, and fountains, they'll work within your budget and taste, and they do free estimates. Lawn care featuring mowing, fertilization, seeding, sodding, aeration, dethatching, maintenance, and cleanup are all done with care and precision. For the highest quality and low prices, see the difference at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses, Eastern Iowa's full-service landscapers at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road.
Hi, I'm Phil Andrews, your local Pekin Insurance agent at Andrews Insurance in Cedar Rapids. I'd like to introduce you to an easy-to-understand, affordable life insurance plan with great benefits. It's simplified issue whole life from Pekin Insurance. The plan requires no medical exam, has guaranteed rates for life, and a guaranteed cash value. Life insurance made simple and affordable from Pekin Insurance. To learn more, contact me, Phil Andrews, at Andrews Insurance.
To make sure that he's on.
Left-hander Adam Daniels making his first start since he strained a hamstring after a 6-5 loss April 25th against Beloit. Adam Daniels is from Vancouver, British Columbia by way of Oklahoma State. Adam is a 6'2 southpaw with a 1-3 record and a 5.57 ERA. Brad Kuhn leads it off for the Kernels and takes way high, ball one. Kuhn is batting .277. No homers, 12 RBIs. Brad last night, 0-for-2, walked twice and scored the Colonel's sole run. That was in the bottom of the ninth inning. Daniel Nelson in on the grass at third for the swing. Ball three, way outside, and Nelson Mendoza is with us, the father of tonight's Colonel starting pitcher, Tommy. And Nelson, you told us the other night that Monsignor Pace, the high school that you coach at, is in the Florida State baseball tournament.
Yes, we are right now.
Here's a 3-0, and it's a strike on the outside corner.
Right now, we're in Sarasota. I mean, my heart is with those guys. I love those guys. I love Chuck Lyman, Top Dolphin, Miguel Soto, all the team, all the coaches. By the way, they know that I want to see my son pitching, and like I said, tonight to me it's tremendous. It's a gift.
It is a gift. Strike 2 to Kuhn. The payoff pitch up and in. Brad Kuhn draws a leadoff walk here in the top of the first inning, and that'll bring in Heinle Stacia, 275 hitter. No homers, 9 RBIs. Heinle Stacia last night was 0 for 4. Kuhn may be running it, although great to have your expertise here, Nelson. It takes longer for a base runner to figure out the move of a lefty, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is. Lefty's very, I mean, you see right now?
There's a throw to first, a throw to second, and Brad's picked off. That's exactly what happened.
Yes.
Oh, brother, Brad Kuhn is picked off, and that pickoff went 1, 3, 6.
Yeah, sometimes you got to see the left. If you don't pass the rubber, and sometimes Ted Evans should throw to first base. That's what happened right now.
Oh, brother. Now Heinle Stacia takes a strike. Heinle's a switch hitter batting right. And Nelson Mendoza has joined us here to say hello to his coaching colleagues and friends in Sarasota, Florida. That's where the state baseball tournament is. Is that right, Nelson?
Yes, all right.
That's neat. Ball 1 low to Heinle Stacia. Now Heinle reps one on the ground up the middle, gliding to his left, Luis Cotto, and Cotto fires and gets Stacia as Heinle rolls out to the shortstop. 2 away here in the Colonel first inning. No score. Jordan Wren's the batter. Jordan added to his league-high RBI total with a 2-out RBI double in the 9th inning that helped the Colonels avert a shutout last night. Jordan had 2 of the Colonel 4 hits. Ball 1 low from the lefty. Adam Daniels, he's a 23-year-old southpaw, 5 years older than Colonel starter Tommy Mendoza. A broken bat roller to third, and Daniels heaves it across the diamond to end the inning. The business end of the bat wound up at the feet of the shortstop, Luis Cotto. So Jordan Wren's grounds out to third. The Colonel first started with a great deal of promise. Brad Kuhn walked. He was picked off, and then the next 2 Colonels grounded out to the left side. No runs in the first for the Colonels, no hits, a walk. There were no swing errors, and a man picked off. The Colonels leave the bases empty. We head to the top of the second on this beautiful Thursday night, Madison Elementary, Bowman Woods Elementary School nights. And after 1, the Colonels nothing, Quad City nothing. You're tuned to Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles, backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odyssey. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
Hy-Vee, the most respected and recognized brand name in our entire great state. Your Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vees value the vital role professional baseball plays in our community's fabric. Our treasured tradition of affordable, wholesome entertainment that brings families, friends, work colleagues, and customers together for lifelong memories. Your Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vees are proud to support the best thing going in eastern Iowa, the wonder of Colonel's baseball.
Second inning here at Veterans Memorial Stadium with the series tied at a game apiece, and Tommy Mendoza's first pitch is tipped foul off the shin guards of catcher Flint Whipke. The Colonels in the outfield tonight have Stantrell Smith in left, Brad Kuhn in center, Madison Edwards in right. The conditions here are A-OK. 67 degrees. Tommy Mendoza takes a deep breath. He's ahead of Brandon Yarborough, the 323 hitter, and he delivers strike 2 called on the inside corner. Yarborough is 6th in the league in hitting with a 323 average. He's a left-handed hitting catcher, the 0-2. Tap to short. A big room service hop near the bag for Stacia. Heinle on to first. 1 gone here in the second inning. Nelson Mendoza, Tommy's father, we didn't have much of a chance 2 nights ago to ask about who. It's not easy to go from a catcher to a first baseman to a pitcher. Did Tommy's over-the-top motion come naturally, or did you teach it to him?
No, I don't. We speak to the head coach, Tom Dolphin, and...
First pitch is a strike call to Matt Wilkerson, who hasn't played yet in this series, a right-handed batter.
When Tommy's position for the next level, and me and him and Chuck Lyman, according to his next level as a pitcher, and Chuck Lyman worked with him every day in the bullpen, and then, Tommy's got, he wanted to pitch and say, you know what, here we go.
Okay. A changeup in the dirt for ball 1 to Wilkerson. Now Matt swings at the 1-1 and launches it foul up onto the Miller Mezzanine Terrace. And we'll have Luvita Hill tell us about our guests here in the group areas a little bit later this evening. We're early. Top of the second inning, 1 away. Matt Wilkerson's a big guy, 6'4", 215, right-handed hitter. And he knuckles a pitch right in on his hands, foul to the backstop. Still 1-2 to Matt Wilkerson. He's out of University of California, Santa Barbara, and the Cardinals signed him as a non-drafted free agent last year. Wilkerson hitting .250 in 20 games with a couple of homers, 9 RBIs. Breaking pitch is grounded to deep short. Backhanded by Stacia. Long throw out at first.
Play.
Tremendous play. Nelson Mendoza, that Heinle Stacia has range. He has terrific feet, and what a strong arm to throw out Wilkerson from deep in the hole at short.
That's a great play, John.
It sure was.
That guy's fast. I saw this kid playing on...
the World Baseball Classic. Yes. He played for Curacao, the Netherlands.
Yes, correct.
Wow, that was some play. Tony Regans, the farm director for the Angels, must be very happy about seeing that play. Now Tommy has fallen 2-0 behind Luis Cotto. We haven't had a chance yet to let you know that the Kernels are in their white home jerseys, white pants, bright red caps. Here's a broken bat pop-up to the middle of the diamond. Travis Schlichting gives way to Heinle Stacia. And yes, sir, right between the mound and second, Luis Cotto's pop-up is caught by Heinle Stacia, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for the Colonel right-hander, 18-year-old Tommy Mendoza, whose father, Nelson, is both nervous, thrilled, excited, and just so supportive of his 18-year-old son.
You know what, John? I'll give you credit to my coach team down in Sarasota, because every year we got some players to the next level. Yes. This year we got 10 Division I players.
10.
And probably, like I told you, 2 first-round picks. Yes. I would say Adrian Cardenas and Christopher Moretto. Wow. Last year we got Tommy, and the year before we got Giovanni Gonzalez. Now it's pitching in Double-A.
Wow.
This is tremendous. The guy worked hard every day. Sometimes they don't listen to him, but he's right.
Any kids are like that. They try to listen, but we'll hear more in a moment after an inning and a half. Scoreless, Kernels and swing. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Smelly cat, smelly cat. What are they saying to you?
What are you playing, Nigel?
I was just trading places with Phoebe from Friends. She's so funny. She's wicked.
Cool. You know, Sierra Mist and TBS have their Trade Places with the Funniest Faces sweepstakes, where you can really trade places with your favorite characters and win the ultimate sitcom getaway. Yeah, just go to tbs.com to enter. You can win the Friends Ross and Rachel honeymoon trip to Vegas. There's also a trip to see where the Seinfeld gang hung out in New York City, or an Everybody Loves Raymond trip to a golf resort in California.
The Trade Places with the Funniest Faces sweepstakes. Just watch Friends on TBS and enter at tbs.com. Brought to you by Sierra Mist. It's that refreshing. No purchase necessary. Internet access required. Subject to official rules at tbs.com. Open to legal residents of the continental U.S. 18 or older. Void where prohibited. Ends 5/16/06.
Dallas Morris, the Colonel cleanup batter, has taken strike one to open up the Colonel's second. No score. Now Dallas is jammed and fists one on the ground foul outside of third. Bottom of the second inning. The swing and the Colonels are scoreless. Lefty Adam Daniels with the 0-2, and this one is lifted in the air to left center. Colby Rasmus, the center fielder, cuts in and to his right, and in left center, Dallas Morris's fly ball is caught. One out here in the Colonel's second inning. Dallas Morris flies to center. Adam Daniels, 21 innings pitched this year, has given up 24 hits, struck out 20 batters in 21 innings, walked only 5, making his first start in over 3 weeks. And a fastball tails just outside to Flint Whipke. The swing are in their Texas burnt orange jerseys with baby blue numbers on the back, Carolina blue, Texas burnt orange hats, Texas burnt orange socks, and gray pants. Whipke fouls one straight back. The count even to Flint, 1-1. Flint didn't play in last night's Colonel 5-1 loss. A changeup by the lefty, and Flint swings and misses, strike 2. Whipke steps out, spits into his batting gloves. Flint's batting .271, 1 homer, 11 RBIs. Straightaway stance from the right side, and the lefty misses low and in for a ball. The Colonels are 10th in the league in hitting, with a .247 team batting average. Bases empty, 1 away. Here in the home half of the second, Flint takes low for ball 2. Check that, ball 3. It's a full count to Flint Whipke. The Colonel team batting average, .247, is 10th of 14 teams in the Midwest League. Here's the payoff pitch from the lefty. It misses outside. Flint Whipke draws the second walk by a Colonel here in this early going. 1 on, 1 out for Stantrell Smith. Stantrell Smith playing in his 9th game for the Colonels, batting .250. No homers, 4 RBIs. Stantrell nothing for 1 last night. Drew a pair of walks. Was picked off first base after one of his 2 walks. Smith, a right-handed batter, lifts the first pitch foul off to the right. The Colonels have clubbed 25 home runs this spring, and each of those home runs means $25 from PRC's Community Care to the Haycap Food Reservoir in PRC's Community Care Home Runs for the Hungry campaign. And with 25 home runs this year, PRC's Community Care has donated $625 to the Haycap Food Reservoir in their pledge and their mission of helping eliminating hunger in our community. A throw to first in the dirt, and Flint Whipke back standing up. Randy Roth had to block that low throw by the lefty Adam Daniels. The Colonels are 3rd in the league with those 25 home runs. Whipke not running, and Stantrell Smith gets a pitch up out over the plate and whistles it foul high into the backstop. Runner at first, 1 away, bottom of the second, no score on this lovely Thursday evening. The Colonels lead the league with 60 stolen bases. Quad City is 2nd in the league in that department with 47. The 0-2 to Stantrell. Rocket into left field on the ground. That's a base hit. On to second goes Flint Whipke as Casey Roulette gets it back in. Stantrell Smith on an 0-2 pitch grounded it sharply through the left side of the swinging field. And the Colonels have runners at first and second with 1 out for Mark Trumbo. Well, Mark is due to break out of his hitting doldrums. He's batting .175, 4 homers, 16 RBIs. Maybe Mark can get a hold of one and add to that PRC Home Runs for the Hungry campaign dollar total. A curve is a strike call to Trumbo. PRC's Community Care contributes $25 to the Haycap Food Reservoir for every Colonel home run. The 0-1 to Trumbo. A fastball downstairs for ball 1. Whipke at second. Stantrell Smith at first here in the bottom of the second inning. Mark waits and shoots one foul over the Papa John's Plaza down the right field line. Colonel Broadcast Assistant Luvita Hill standing by. She'll give you the scores from this afternoon on the State Farm Major League scoreboard in just a bit. And she'll also tell you about the wonderful work that we did this morning with Colonel relief pitcher Tim DeJurgis. Ball 2 is high and inside to Mark Trumbo. Colby Rasmus is shaded way around into right center for the swing. Whipke walked with one out. Stantrell Smith grounded one sharply into left. The runners go. A curve, and it's looped into shallow left. Coming on is Casey Roulette, but the shortstop back about 65 feet into shallow left makes the catch. Luis Cotto had to backpedal into shallow left field, and he caught the pop-up off the bat of Mark Trumbo. Whipke was running, then slammed the brakes on, and a good thing he did because Mark Trumbo pops out to shallow left. The third baseman, or the shortstop, Cotto, caught it. 2 on, 2 out for Travis Schlichting. Schlichting 0 for 2, walked his first trip up last night. Nothing for 2 on the game last night. A breaking pitch at the knees for strike 1 to Travis Schlichting. Kernels looking for a clutch 2-out hit to try to take the lead here in the bottom of the second inning. No score. Schlichting, a pronounced open stance, right-handed batter, lays off a changeup downstairs, 1-1. The swing outfield plays Travis Schlichting straight away. Travis is a .233 hitter, 3 homers, 7 RBIs. Uses a black lacquer bat, waits patiently as Adam Daniels takes a long time before coming set. The runners go. A curve, a strike, the throw to third. Flint Whipke is out. Flint Whipke is caught trying to steal third to end the Colonel's second inning. The caught stealing went catcher to third. And we're getting runners thrown out on the base paths at a very alarming rate right now. But when you don't score runs, you're forced to play the running game and try to make something happen, and you can't blame the Colonels for that. But a golden opportunity falls by the wayside. No runs for the Colonels in the second. A walk, a hit. There were no swing errors. The Colonels have a man caught trying to steal third to end the inning and leave 1. After 2, Colonels nothing, swing nothing. You're enjoying Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Reading stimulates a child's imagination, increases their mastery of subject matter, improves their spelling and vocabulary, and opens up new worlds of discovery. That's why Toyota Financial Services, the Gazette, and the Kernels are teaming up to encourage elementary students throughout the community to read. Kernels players will visit 38 elementary schools this spring to talk with students about the benefits of reading. Girls and boys will then be rewarded with nifty prizes for achieving reading milestones. Toyota Financial Services, the Gazette, and the Kernels, proud to stand behind our community's youth for reading.
Next up, a musical taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a new spin on an old vibe. From me to you, a tasty sip of Dr. Pepper for your ears, and it starts like this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be a pepper?
Now that's cool, but pepper is a little better. So let's slide in a taste of this. Right on. But there's still more to it. I mean, there's nothing like it, because every sip is a kickin' mashup of 23 different flavors. So for the true taste of Dr. Pepper, we dial it up even more. You know it. With 23 flavors mixed into one bold taste, every sip is a cool mix of music to your mouth. Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
2 innings quickly in the book on this beautiful Thursday night, and A.J. Van Slyke, who led off the 9th inning as a pinch hitter for Quad City last night and singled, takes ball 1 low. Now A.J. wraps one up the middle, and that skips by the diving shortstop Heinley Stacia into shallow center where Brad Kuhn has it. A.J. Van Slyke, a .242 hitter, has collected the second hit of the evening for the swing. And in this scoreless game, Casey Roulette may be bunting. The number 9 hitter batting .172. No homers, 8 RBIs. There was plenty of action this afternoon on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. We promised we'd bring you a complete wrap-up of it, and we'll have it here in the top of the third inning. Casey Roulette shoots the first pitch foul off to the right, strike one. State Farm Insurance agents Dale Thompson, Gary Schubat, Al Shetler, and Brad Dunn sponsor the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Roulette hitting 172. No homers, 8 RBIs. Casey grounds one fair past a diving Travis Schlichting down the left field line. A.J. Van Slyke will motor to third. The throw there not in time, and the batter goes to second. Well, second and third, nobody out as Casey Roulette grounded one just to the left of the diving Travis Schlichting. And Roulette, as Stantrell Smith's throw to third was not on target or on time, Roulette just kept speeding around the base paths. He ends up at second, and a pair of singles have the swing threatening here in the third inning. Daniel Nelson is up. The Colonel infield plays back. They'll trade a run for an out here in the third. Beautiful Uncle Charlie, a strike call to Nelson. Well, Levita Hill, let's start with afternoon action in the National League on that State Farm Major League scoreboard.
Well, John, in the National League, in the slugfest, the Reds slipped by the Pirates 9-8 at PNC Park.
The 0-1 to the switch hitter. High and away, ball one.
At Turner Field, the Braves trounced the Marlins 9-1. At Miller Park, the Brewers nipped the Phillies 5-4. And at Busch Stadium, the Cardinals whipped the Mets 6-3.
Here's a shot foul over the third base stands, and it puts Daniel Nelson behind in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And I know there was a big game at Wrigley today. Luvita?
Yes, John. In the last game in the National League, the Nationals beat the Cubs at Wrigley 5-3.
And that was behind former Colonel star Ramon Ortiz. So good news for Ramon. He won his first game as a National. A breaking pitch from Tommy is in the dirt, blocked by Flint Whipke. It evens the count to Daniel Nelson, 2-2. Daniel started tonight's action by grounding out to Dallas Morris at second. Second and third for the swing. Nobody out here in the top of the third inning. Tommy Mendoza working from the stretch. Comes set below the chin. Fastball, and it's lifted foul up into the rafters of the grandstand roof to the left of home plate. A new batch of baseballs hustled out from the Colonel first base dugout to the plate umpire. Van Slyke at third, Roulette at second. For Quad City, no score, top of the third inning. Daniel Nelson takes a fastball just outside, ball 3. How about the American League, Luvita?
Well, John, there were 3 games completed in the American League this afternoon. The first, at Jacobs Field, the Indians shaded the Royals 6-5. At Comerica Park, the Tigers knocked off the Twins 5-3. And at Yankee Stadium, the Rangers dumped the Yankees 6-2.
Ball 4 is low and away, and Daniel Nelson has walked to load the bases. Let's see if Flint Whipke pays a visit to the hill. Yes, Flint will trot up the dirt path carved between the mound and the plate, and he'll talk it over with the 18-year-old Colonel right-hander, Tommy Mendoza. Tommy's coming off a 5-2 loss Saturday in Clinton. He went 5 2/3 innings, gave the Lumber Kings 5 runs on 9 hits, struck out 6, walked 2. And Jose Martinez is batting now with the bases loaded and nobody out. And as we said, there was a full slate of games this afternoon. And Levita will also have scores a little bit later from tonight on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Martinez grounds one, backhanded by Stacia. He knocks it down. No play for Heinle. Everybody's safe, and a run scores. A.J. Van Slyke has given the swing a 1-0 lead with he crosses the plate, and that'll likely be an infield single. Likely an infield single for Jose Martinez. He hit it deep to short. Heinle Stacia dove to his right, got a glove on it to knock it down, and then it rolled away from Heinle. A.J. Van Slyke scores on an RBI infield single. Daniel Nelson, or Casey Roulette goes from second to third. Daniel Nelson to second. And now the batter, Colby Rasmus. Strike one called at the knees. Well, the swing haven't hit the ball hard in this inning, but they've hit it on the ground where the Kernel players between Kernel positions. So they've hit it where they ain't. I think Harness Wagner used to say that. A breaking pitch is low, and it's 1-1. Colby Rasmus broke his bat and singled over the head of Travis Schlichting in the first inning. Kernel infield is in at the corner. Schlichting and Trumbo at third and first. Double play depth up the middle. Colby Rasmus tags one into right. Back goes Edwards. Madison has it. Terrific running catch by Madison Edwards to take an extra base hit away from Colby Rasmus. It's good enough, though, for a sacrifice fly. Casey Roulette trots home on Colby Rasmus's fly ball to deep right. Boy, that was some play by Madison Edwards as he had to go back, reach up high over his head, and he took an extra base hit away from Colby Rasmus. Rasmus, with his 20th RBI of the year, gives the Swing an early 2-0 lead. And tagging from third to score was Roulette. Daniel Nelson hoofed it from second to third. It's first and third, one away for Randy Roth. And now what the Kernels would love would be a double play, pop-up, or strikeout. Randy Roth flew out to center to end the first inning. Swing on top here in the third, 2-0. A curve of beauty, a strike called to the league's leading home run hitter, Randy Roth. This inning started when A.J. Van Slyke grounded a single up the middle. Casey Roulette then singled between third and Travis Schlichting. Daniel Nelson walked. Jose Martinez, with the bases loaded, reached on an infield single. Colby Rasmus drove in a run with a deep fly to right. Here's a throw to first, and Jose Martinez gets back safely. Tommy's pitched 47 1/3 innings this year, surrendered 51 hits, struck out 42, walked only 8. The 0-1 to the power-hitting right-handed batter, swing and a miss on a changeup. And Tommy's out in front of Randy Roth. No balls, 2 strikes. It is a glorious evening, and a big crowd is here. I'd say we'd have over 2,000 tonight. Roth widens his stance to try to prevent himself from striking out. Randy lifts the pitch foul off to the right. And it's still 0-2. Roth is hitting .295, a league-high 11 home runs, and he's second only to Jordan Renz, our Jordan Renz, with 32 runs driven in. Randy was 1 for 4 last night with a walk. Kernel infield hoping to get a double play ball. Swing and a miss, a fastball high and outside, and Randy Roth went a fishing, and nothing on the other end of that line. That's the second strikeout for Tommy Mendoza, and it was a big strikeout. Now there are runners at the corners for Brandon Yarborough. Yarborough grounded out to Heinley Stacia, the shortstop, leading off the second inning. Brandon Yarborough was a 5th-round pick of St. Louis back in 2003. So this is Brandon's 4th year of pro ball, yet he's still only 21 years old. Fastball paints the outside corner, strike 1. This Quad City team is ranked 3rd in the league in hitting. They have a .263 team batting average. Brandon Yarborough stands motionless at the plate. Here's a throw to first, and diving back in safely, Jose Martinez. Jose has 2 steals and 3 tries. A beautiful, opaque, bluish, purple sky here tonight. Not a cloud in it. Big Uncle Charlie, and it thudded foul off the plate, rolls behind home, and Tommy's ahead. No balls, 2 strikes. Mendoza wears his white home pants all the way down to his shoe tops. Tommy's wearing a long-sleeve red shirt underneath his Colonel white home jersey. And as I said earlier, the Kernels are wearing their all-red hats. Jose Martinez dives back into first as Mendoza threw over there. Brad Kuhn is shifted way around into left center for the Kernels. First and third, 2 out. The runner goes. Whitkey's throw to second. Cut off. Stacia back home. Runner out. He never reached the plate. Clint Whitkey blocked the and Heinley Stacia threw home to get Daniel Nelson to end the inning. The caught stealing of home goes Whipke, Stacia, Whipke, 2-6-2, and I'm telling you, the Kernels could not have executed it in a more big league fashion. That is a difficult play. First, to have your catcher have the gall to throw it to second. Secondly, to have your shortstop cut in front of it, catch it, and then wing a throw. Heinley's peg was a bit high, but Flint Whipke blocked the plate with his shin guard, and that prevented Daniel Nelson from scoring. He's gone at the plate. All things considered, we're out of the inning. The swing loaded the bases with nobody out. They strike for 2 runs on 3 hits. There were no Colonel errors, and 1 left by Quad City. They've stranded 2. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning, and it's the swing on top, 2-0. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Who's that cool cooking man? King of the grill, who's Shaw? Patio.
It's time for Clement's Great Grill Challenge. If someone asks you, what's cooking, Daddy-O, tell them Clement's is always lean and juicy. The other guys have more fat, more flare-ups, and shrinking taste. Avoid unnecessary flare-ups. Never substitute fat for flavor. Always grill Clement's.
King of the grill, man. The grill's hot. Who's your patio?
Has your spring planning been delayed by uncertain weather? Get started now with a visit to Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center. For the very best plant selection and all the expert advice you'll need to make your plants grow their very best, visit Peck's. The greenhouses at Peck's are bursting with colors, gorgeous hanging baskets, rose bushes, patio plants, and blooming annual plants. Peck's has the newest, best bloomers for sunny and shady areas and the best producing tomato, vegetable, and herb plants. If your spring planning includes new landscaping, contact Peck's for an estimate. Choose your landscaping, plants, and trees from Peck's acres of expertly cared for tree shrubs, evergreens, perennials, and plants. Visit Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center, where Peck's knowledgeable staff is ready to answer your plant and gardening questions. Peck's Flower Shop and Gardening Center, celebrating 50 years of growing since 1956. Peck's, located at the corner of Blair's Ferry and Edgewood Road Northeast.
Luvita Hill, thank you so much. And with this great weather here, we're glad that Peck's has put the word out that they are the place for gardeners, landscaping work, all the free expert advice at Peck's. Travis Schlichting was at the plate when Flint Whipke was thrown out trying to steal third to end the Colonel's second. 2-0 swing, and Luvita, I promised our listeners that here's a little looper off the batter's fist into left field, and it's a base hit. Travis Schlichting has the second Colonel hit of this game as he was jammed but muscled it into shallow left in front of Casey Roulette. Leadoff man aboard for the Kernels. Luvita Hill and Sonia Massey, who helped me orchestrate and conduct the 8th annual Toyota Financial Services Cedar Rapids Gazette, Culver's Frozen Custard and Butterburger, Bloomsbury Farm reading program assemblies, were out this morning. And Luvita, you had a first-hand look at all of it.
Yes, I did. When we got to the schools, the children were really well-behaved, and they were really anxious to learn about this reading program and the things they could win by achieving their reading goals.
Where did you guys go first?
First, we went to St. Matthew.
That's on First Avenue. Here's a neat buckling curve, a strike to Madison Edwards. And you went to a Catholic school, an elementary school. What sort of attire were the children wearing?
Well, most of the children were in khakis and polo shirts, and a few of them had on the plaid skirts that are normally worn at these Catholic schools.
Yes, that sounds like St. Matthew. And those kids, describe the environment, the gym there, Luvita.
Well, the gym, it had hula hoops and other gym equipment that you would normally use during the gym class. I believe they were just finishing up a PE class when we got there, or they were just beginning one when we got there.
Here's a slow roll into first, and Madison could beat it out. The pitcher covers, not in time! Madison Edwards aboard on an infield single, and the Kernels have their first 2 men aboard here in the 3rd inning. The tying runs. Madison Edwards hit a very weak grounder to shallow first. Randy Roth came in, and Adam Daniels cut over from the mound. Roth's throw was perfect. But it was a bang-bang play at first, and Madison Edwards legs out an infield single. And now let's see if Brad Kuhn will try to lay down a bunt. That's what Daniel Nelson is smelling, the third baseman for the Swing. The Kernels trail 2-0, but have, here in the third inning, the tying runs aboard with nobody out. Schlichting at second, Edwards at first. First pitch to Kuhn. A curve and a bunt in front of the plate, barehanded by the catcher Yarborough, and he wings his throw to first for the out. And a terrific bunt by Brad Kuhn moves the runners into scoring position. The play went catcher Yarborough to Randy Roth, the first baseman, 2-3 for the first out of the inning. And that's a big, big sacrifice bunt by Brad Kuhn. Luvita, what about the seating situation in the gym at St. Matthew? Did the kids plop themselves down on the gym floor?
No, they didn't. They sat in bleachers.
In bleachers?
Yes, there were rows of bleachers, quite a few rows of bleachers.
Swinging a foul by Heinley Stacia. And what time did you get there?
We got there early. We got there about 8:15. Got there about a half an hour early.
And you took one of the, well, I'll let you describe how our player did in a moment. The 0-1 to Heinley. In on his hands. Did he go around? According to the base umpire, he did, and that is a tough 0-2 count now that Heinley Stacia, the Colonel switch-hitting shortstop, will try to pull himself out of. Oh, brother. Adam Daniels came in right on the hands of Stacia. The swing infield is in for the play at the plate. The 0-2 from the lefty. Corks foul, just foul, past third. I'll tell you why the Quad City infield is in. Last night, Heinley Stacia grounded out to second 3 times. Tonight, in one at-bat, he's grounded out to short. The catcher branded Yarborough out to the hill to have a word with his lefty. 2-0 Quad City. Let the Kernels have the tying runs in scoring position with only one away here in the bottom of the third. What Colonel player accompanied you and Sonia to the schools this morning, Luvita?
Relief pitcher Tim DeJurgis accompanied us this morning.
You got the pronunciation of his last name absolutely correct.
We practiced it many, many times.
And we'll hear about how Tim did in a moment. Heinley Stacia waits as the southpaw Daniels steps off. A balk has been called, and Nelson Mendoza saw it. How in the world did Nelson Mendoza, Tommy's father, see that from a row back? And now, Keith, Luvita, we're going to have you switch for a moment. I want to see what Nelson Mendoza saw that the swing is arguing about. Nelson, the swing is contesting the balk call. What did you see the lefty do?
Well, I'll tell you what, John. When lefty pitch or right, it doesn't matter if you got front, you got to step it out with your right feet. Step out with the left foot and his go deliver it to the sidearm. That's the balk automatic. That's what I call you behind you. So that's the balk.
Okay.
See?
Now, Keith Mitchell got an explanation, and thankfully these independent umpires had the eagle eyes you did. In other words, it wasn't a matter of him not being on the rubber or not. It was his first move?
It's the first move. As soon as you get it front command, you can't step out when you left.
Okay. So he came set.
That's right.
Okay.
He's set, and then automatically he step out with it left foot.
Yes.
Got to be with it right foot.
Okay. You saw it.
Yes.
And the balk allows Schlichting to score. Edwards, the tying run, goes to third. Let's see Heinley Stacia, a tough out at the plate, bounces one foul. And the Kernels have cut the swing lead to 2-1 here in the third inning.
Believe me, John, I put that run in because Tom is pitching today.
There you go.
There you go.
Here's a line drive. Stabbed by the second baseman. Throw to third, and Madison Edwards is a goner. Oh, brother, a double play ends the Colonel third inning. Heinley Stacia lashed it to Jose Martinez. Martinez caught the line drive and then threw to third. Madison Edwards could not get back in time, and that line drive double play goes 4-5, and that ends the Colonel third. But the Kernels score one run on 2 base hits, a sacrifice bunt, the swing turn, a double play. There were no Quad City errors, a balk, and the Kernels leave nobody aboard. We go to the top of the fourth inning. Swing 2, Kernels 1. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
The summer heat can be so oppressive unless you can keep your cool. Who do you call when your cooling system fails? Call on the A-Team at Ahern Plumbing and Heating. The A-Team can inspect and ensure that your cooling system is good to go when you need it most. 24 hours a day, rely on the A-Team from Ahern Plumbing and Heating. Call 393-4872. 393-4872 for Ahern Plumbing and Heating.
Advanced Systems, the leader in office technology, is like a great baseball coach when it comes to office productivity. Advanced Systems makes the most of your team. They do it with the latest technology for office productivity from Canon. They're also like a great trainer. Advanced Systems' advanced life support makes sure your office equipment runs at peak levels and fixes it fast if things go wrong. Hit it over the fence with Canon technology from Advanced Systems. Call 832-8291.
This is for the 21st century with Advanced Systems.
When it's important to you, coffee works, let your work shine through. Quality coffee, you do it for less. Don't settle for second best. Coffee works, computer center, coffee works. We do it better when you think of coffee. Think of coffee works. Coffee works, coffee works.
Here we go to the top of the fourth, and a let-up has left-handed hitting Brandon Yarborough way out in front, swing and a miss. 2-1 swing. They struck for two in the top of the third. The Kernels answered with a solo run. Now a fastball dribbles between the legs of Flint Whitkey. And it evens the count 1-1. We'll tell you a little bit more about our player appearances promoting the 8th annual Toyota Financial Services Gazette. Here's a pitch corked hard to first, knocked down by Trumbo. Mark recovers and underhands to Tommy Mendoza. One away here in the swing fourth inning.
Your attention, please. Michael.
In fact, Luvita Hill was just about to tell us what Tim DeJurgis did both at St. Matthew's School and at Bowman Woods School. Luvita, you've been on, at least two-thirds of our school visits this spring promoting the summer reading program. How would you characterize Tim DeJurgis and his relationship with the children?
Well, at first, Tim seemed a little quiet, but when he got up on stage to go talk to the kids, his personality just opened up.
He came alive.
Yes, he did. We did a story, The Bad Boy and His Violin, and Tim had to be the bad boy who plays the violin. He hammed it up, and he played that violin like he'd been playing for a while.
Is that right?
Yes.
The kids really were enthralled then.
They loved the way he played. Sometimes he'd play slow. Sometimes he'd make it go faster. He'd try to make a little ditty of his own.
Oh, that's neat. Look out! Look out! Here's a bat flung in the air, a swing and a miss by Matt Wilkerson, and thankfully it stayed on the field of play. Oh, brother. Now, Matt Wilkerson is either going back to the swing dugout for some pine tar or a new bat, pine tar. Ooh, he swung and missed at a Tommy Mendoza breaking pitch, and that bat went helicoptering over the head of his manager beyond third base. Boy, that's a dangerous occurrence. Fortunately, we don't see it happen too often at any level of professional baseball. Here's Matt Wilkerson on the 1-2 delivery. Swing and a miss, high gas from Tommy Mendoza, and that's Tommy's third strikeout. Mendoza hit a rut in the road in the third inning when the swing collected two singles, a walk to load the bases with nobody out. And all things considered, Tommy did well to get out of that inning, surrendering only 2 runs. 2-1 Quad City, 2 out, nobody on for Luis Cotto, C-O-T-T-O. Luis was a 7th-round pick of Kansas City way back in the year 2000. In fact, I remember him as a Burlington Bee in 2001. Right-handed hitter, open stance, and a changeup drifts downstairs, 2-0. Cotto leaves the box for a moment and taps his spikes. Now the 2-0 pitch. High, ball 3. Luvita, you mentioned the story that we're using this year to illustrate to the area elementary school kids how much fun reading can be. The title of it is?
The Bad Boy and His Violin.
And there's some history in there, too.
Yes, there is. The story's about a bad boy in the Negro Leagues. His father is the coach of one of the teams, the Dukes. And he wants his son to be the bat boy and to be more involved in baseball, but the bat boy just wants to play his violin.
And they reach a very healthy compromise. Here's a swing and a foul to run the count full. Luvita, that's a great summary, and I want to have you keep going because something happens magical when the bat boy plays his violin.
Every time the bat boy plays his violin during the game and the Dukes are up to bat, they seem to do very, very well. They always get a base hit.
And that pleases the father of the bat boy and fiddle player. Ball 4 is low to Luis Cotto. And let's see if Tommy can pitch around that 2-out walk. A.J. Van Slyke got the swing 2-run third started with a base hit. A.J. has a very similar stance as his father, Andy Van Slyke, and he takes outside ball 1. A.J. is not as tall and trim as Andy. He's a little more stockily built, wears a pair of black batting gloves, and uses a two-tone color bat. Runner at first, Luis Cotto, not going. And there's a curve low, blocked by Flint Whipke, and it's 2-0 to Van Slyke. The light should be turned on here any moment now. The sun is disappeared for the time being. Angelinos Mendoza is down below, and she's wearing a Colonel red knit batting practice top. In fact, she's filming us up here, Luvita. There's a pitch low and away, and it's 3-0 now to Van Slyke. Keith Mitchell may turn A.J. loose. Keith is flashing a series of signs from his third base coaching perch. Now puts his hands on his hips. Maybe that's the sign. You never know how these signs are relayed. Apparently it wasn't the sign to swing away, and a strike call to Van Slyke. Well, that's good news. Now, what would you estimate the number of kids at Bowman Woods at this morning, Luvita?
Oh, there are a lot of kids at Bowman Woods. I know there were clear over 100 because 100 of them participated in the program last year.
And maybe one of them is going to drop by in a few minutes. Luvita, I'll tell you what, that your timing couldn't be better. I think, having we talked about our visits to... There goes the runner, and a line drive. Tommy knocks it down, and it squirts off to the left. It's a base hit. A.J. Van Slyke ripped one right back, and it almost undressed the Colonel right-hander. Tommy got his glove up, and Kernan Ronan and the Colonel trainer, Eric Munson, have hustled out. I think Tommy got his glove up. I don't think he took that shot in the ribs, although I can't be sure. So they're looking over Tommy Mendoza. It's a line drive single off of Tommy's glove or torso. We'll have to wait and see. And down to second goes Luis Cotto. First and second, 2 away. Luvita, I think the stage is set for you to hand the baton off to Hannah Westfall. I think Hannah Westfall is with us. Let's see if this is Hannah. And Luvita, you can help her get comfortable. She's a darling little girl. We'll find out what grade she's in. She's from Bowman Woods, and she brought a friend along with her. They're going to let Tommy Mendoza take a couple of test pitches, trial pitches, to see if he's shaken up. I'm not sure where that line drive got the 18-year-old Colonel right-hander. I think he got a piece of it with his glove. He looks like he may be okay. Oh, okay, we have, thank you, Sonia. Well, let's see if, hold on. Honey, are you Belle Hansen or are you Hannah Westfall? All right, Hannah. We'll welcome Belle here in a little bit. With two names like Hannah and Belle, those are wonderfully sweet-sounding names. And we'll talk to Hannah here in just a little bit. Tommy Mendoza has been given the okay to continue in this game as Casey Roulette bats on Bowman Woods Madison Elementary School night. Strike one on the outside corner. Well, Hannah Westfall, how old are you and what grade are you in at Bowman Woods?
I'm 7.5 years old, and I go to Bowman Woods.
Oh, that's great. And what grade are you in, honey?
Second grade.
You're a second grader. I wish we had a couple of phone books that we could lift you up, but you look very comfortable in your Indian squat there sitting. Can you see okay?
Yeah.
All right. Hannah Westfall's wearing a bright red long-sleeve Bowman Woods shirt. And, Hannah, it looks like there's some tigers or lions on there. What are they?
Lions.
Is that your nickname?
Yeah.
Good. The Linmar Bowman Woods Lions. 1 ball, 1 strike to Casey Roulette. Big Uncle Charlie, a beauty, and strike 2 to Roulette. who singled past third and scored in the swing 2-run third inning. Quad City has men at first and second, 2 gone here in the top of the 4th inning. Hannah Westfall from Bowman Woods Elementary School is alongside. Fastball outside. Hannah, what's the name of your teacher in 2nd grade?
Miss Monroe.
Miss Monroe. How would you tell our listeners, what do you like best about her?
She's really nice.
Good. Well, that's the best thing you can say about a human being is that they are nice to other people. The 2-2 with 2 on and 2 out. A little Texas League looper into right center falls. Racing home is Luis Cotto, and Kuhn gets to it. Not in time, though, to keep A.J. Van Slyke from going from first to third. And all of this with 2 out. And Casey Roulette didn't hit it hard. He looped a Texas League single into right center to give the swing a 3-1 lead. And it's first and third 2 out. And the batter is Daniel Nelson. Well, Hannah Westfall, what are your favorite subjects in Miss Monroe's 2nd grade class at Bowman Woods?
Science.
You like science. What part of science do you like? Studying about bugs and animals, or bones and muscles, or?
I like studying about animals.
About animals?
Frogs.
And frogs. Oh, that's neat. Do you get to bring some animals to school? In a jar?
I had tadpoles.
You've had tadpoles. And, of course, they grow up to be...
Frogs.
You bet. Ball 1 just misses outside to Daniel Nelson. Hannah Westfall is poised, calm, confident, polite. Boy, I'll tell you, Hannah, to have a 2nd grader like you on the radio with us is a real delight. Oh, here's a pitch hammered into right, and that'll make it 4-1 Quad City. Stopping at second is Casey Roulette as A.J. Van Slyke scores, and I'm not sure now if Tommy really was shaken up by that line drive because he just hasn't quite recouped his... And yes, Kernan Ronan is coming out for a Mercy Medical Center conversation, a heart-to-heart conversation with Tommy Mendoza. You owe it to yourself and the people who love you to find out what your risk of heart disease is with a $35 heart-to-heart screening from Mercy Medical Center. It's quick, easy, and convenient, and it could save your life. Call Mercy at 398-6821, 398-6821. 2 out, and the Swing have scored a pair of runs on a walk, line single off Tommy Mendoza, a Texas League single, and then a hard-hit ball into right. Jose Martinez will bat. And let's hope Tommy, after receiving the counsel of Kernan Ronan, can get this final out. The Kernels have been forced to get Rafael Cruz up and throwing in their bullpen. And again, we just aren't sure how big a blow Tommy took on that line drive back to the hill. He spins a curveball in a beauty for a strike. Well, Hannah, when I was your age, I had a calendar at home, and I was counting down the number of days left in school in May. Have you counted down how many days are left?
Yes.
How many to go? Uh-oh, here's a deep drive to left. Santrell Smith is back, and he leaps, but it's over his head, and a 3-run homer off the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM Whirling Waters home run sign. So a 3-run homer by Jose Martinez. He hit a 2-run homer in the 9th inning last night, and the Kernels have come a bit unrattled here in the 4th inning as Jose Martinez belts a 3-run homer to make it a big inning for the Swing. They now lead it 7-1, and just that last out, a 2-out walk is what got it all started. Then an infield single on a line drive, a Texas League single, an RBI single to right, and a 3-run homer. And the Kernels are down 7-1 here in the 4th inning. Here's a changeup, and it's nubbed foul. Well, Hannah, how many days left in school?
I think 15.
Yeah, I bet you're right on with 15. Now, what are you looking forward to at the end of the school year? We used to have something called Field Day, where the kids went out on the playground and we had relay races and fun activities. Do you have a field day at Bowman Woods?
I think so.
Okay, good. What's your favorite activity on the playground? Do you like baseball or jump rope or square ball? What do you like doing?
I like playing on the equipment.
On the equipment? On the gym? The what we used to call the monkey bars and the playground equipment?
Yeah.
Now, honey, do you have the wood chips below you in case you fall, or do you have the gravel?
Wood chips.
Good, that's safe. The 1-2 pitch to Rasmus, and he loops it into left. Stantrell Smith on the run near the line, makes the catch to end the inning. Colby Rasmus flies to left. The swing strike, though, for 5 runs, all with 2 out, on 4 hits, a walk. There were no Colonel errors, and Quad City leaves the bases empty. Well, we're going to keep it right here because we have that latitude here on our Colonel Radio Network and talk a little bit more with a very special guest, Hannah Westfall from Bowman Woods Elementary School. And Hannah, as far as brothers and sisters, honey, do you have any?
Yeah.
Who are they and how old are they?
Emma Westfall, she is 5, and my brother Nick, and he is 4.
So you're the oldest. Now, does Emma go to kindergarten yet or preschool?
She goes to kindergarten.
And Nick is probably in preschool.
Yeah.
And what do your mom and dad do?
They work at Edward Jones.
At Edward Jones. So they help people with their financial planning.
Yeah.
That's a very gratifying career, isn't it? Well, honey, we're going to finish up with 2 more questions, and then we're going to welcome in another great kid from Madison Elementary, Belle Hansen. Hannah Westfall, what are you looking forward most to doing this summer?
Having gymnastics lessons.
Gymnastics lessons. Have you taken gymnastics?
Yeah.
And what do you do the best? The parallel bar, the tumbling? Tumbling, okay. Where do you take gymnastics?
Somersaults.
Somersaults, okay. And finally, what is your favorite food?
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti, wow. Well, that's healthy and good. Well, Hannah, honey, we thank you so much for coming. You've been just delightful. Have a fun end of your school year and a fun summer, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, sweetheart. That's Hannah Westfall, our guest from Bowman Woods Elementary School. She was just delightful, wasn't she? Well, the Kernels have a hole to climb out of tonight, trailing 7-1, but we're only in the bottom of the 4th inning. Looks like Rafael Cruz will take over on the hill for the Kernels in the 5th inning. Tommy Mendoza may have been a bit shaken up on that line drive, or perhaps we'll just have to wait and see. Well, this is Belle Hansen. What a pretty name. And ball 1 to Renz. Belle, are you from Madison?
Yes.
All right. Now, how old are you?
7.
You're 7, just like Hannah was. Are you in 1st or 2nd grade?
1st grade.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. There's a song that says, all I want for Christmas is my 2 front teeth. And you've got your 2 front teeth, and they're out now because your baby teeth are falling out. Did the tooth fairy visit you?
Yes.
What do you leave under your pillow?
$2.73.
$2.73 for both teeth. Boy, that tooth fairy, when I was your age, honey, I only got a dime per tooth. You get over $1.30 of tooth. Here's a curve inside to Renz, and it's a full count to Jordan. Jordan Renz grounded out to 3rd his first time up. Here's a little Texas League looper. It may fall, it may fall, it may fall, it may fall, it does fall. Jordan, a big turn at first, holds on. Jordan Renz has gotten the Colonel 4th inning started with a Texas League single over the head of Jose Martinez, the 3rd baseman, in front of Matt Wilkerson, the right fielder. Well, Belle, how did Madison Elementary pick you to represent them? How were you chosen to be on the radio with us? Do you know?
I don't know.
Well, probably your good personality and great behavior. You don't get in trouble, do you?
No.
No. Well, I'm going to ask you a few of the same questions I asked Hannah and a few different questions. I'm glad you wore your pretty purple jacket tonight, Belle. There's a strike called. Do you know why your parents picked the name Belle?
I don't know.
You like the name, though, don't you?
Yeah.
It's really unique. Strike 1 called to Dallas Morris here in the Colonel 4th. Dallas clubs a double play ball to short. Cotto feeds Martinez. Jose on to 1st, and it is a 6-4-3 double play. Dallas Morris has erased Jordan Renz at second on a 6-4-3 double play, and that kind of takes the wind out of the Colonel sails here in this fourth. 7-1 swing as Flint Whipkey bats with 2 away. Well, Belle, do you like to play baseball at all yourself? Or T-ball?
No.
What do you enjoy playing?
I enjoy playing with my friends.
Good. Stuff like what? Tag or hide and seek or Red Rover or...
Just like playing on the equipment.
Yeah, on the playground equipment. Well, I'm glad to hear that, because I'm glad to know that elementary school playground equipment is used. Madison Elementary School. Do you know the school nickname, Belle? What do they call you guys? The Madison what?
Mustangs.
The Madison Mustangs. And they're here over 100 strong tonight. The 1-1. To Whipkey, just misses outside. And, honey, I want to apologize. We got our messages mixed up, and I'm glad that your name is here with us. I'm sorry I didn't get it up on the door, but I'm glad it's right in front of us. Here's a chopper to third, charged by Daniel Nelson, and he throws out Flint Whipkey to end the inning. In the Colonel fourth, no runs, 1 hit. A double play. There were no swing errors. The Colonels leave the bases empty. We'll finish up another half inning with first grader Belle Hansen from Madison Elementary School as we head to the top of the 5th inning. Quad City on top, 7-1. You're enjoying Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Colonel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank, free money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
Meet Jim. Well, it's nice how he spends weekends in his yard trying to kill weeds.
Gotcha.
Meet Dave. He spends weekends on the green. That's because Greg's Lawn Service takes care of his lawn. Mowing, fertilizing, pruning, and, weed control. Greg does the big jobs, too. Landscaping, retaining walls, curb edging, and patios. So when you've had enough of those little devils...
Yes.
Call 393-0101. Greg's Lawn Service, a cut above the rest.
Hi, I'm Tanya Sedlock, your local Pekin Insurance agent at Andrews Insurance here in Cedar Rapids. We all know how quickly life can change. You buy a new car or a new home. Your family is blessed with a new baby. Your teenager starts driving the family car. I'm here to help with a complete line of insurance plans to give you protection when you need it the most. Pekin Insurance has been in business of insuring people for 85 years. I'm here to put your interests first. Please visit me, Tanya Sedlock, at the Andrews Agency.
We have a call to the Colonel Bullpen, sponsored by U.S. Cellular, as we head to the top of the 5th inning, the swing up 7-1. Get your wireless relief with Call Me Minutes only from U.S. Cellular. Rafael Cruz, a right-hander, has come on in relief of starter Tommy Mendoza. Tommy went 4 innings, surrendered 7 runs on 8 hits. Mendoza struck out 3, walked a pair. And Rafael Cruz's job is well-defined. It's to try to keep the Colonels within a reasonable striking distance of the swing, who enjoy a 7-1 lead. Belle Hansen is with us. Belle is a first grader at Madison Elementary School. And Belle, our last guest, Hannah Westfall, told us the name of her second grade teacher was Miss Monroe. What's the name of your first grade teacher at Madison?
I have 2 of them.
Oh.
One of them's Mrs. Will and one of them's Mrs. Patterson.
Mrs. Will and Mrs. Patterson. All right. Now, do they alternate by day, or does one teach one subject and another subject? How does it work, Belle?
On Mondays, is Mrs. Will's there. On Tuesdays, Mrs. Will's there. And in the morning, Mrs. Will's there. And then in the afternoon, Mrs. Patterson. Thursday, Mrs. Patterson, and Friday.
So they split the week. Well, that's wonderful, and I can tell by the sound of your voice that you like your teachers.
I do very much.
Well, that's great. I'm so happy about that. And Honey, how close do you live to Madison? Do you walk to school or take the bus? Here's a grounder to shallow third. Over the bag, a fair ball, and underneath the glove of Travis Schlichting, and it's a race to second. Mark Trumbo covers the bag, but it's a two-base error, I believe, on Travis Schlichting. I don't know if Travis gave up on that ball or what. It went right underneath the glove. Randy Roth is at second of Travis Schlichting. I think Travis either thought it was foul or somehow he just let it leak under his mitt. It rolled into shallow left field for a two-base error. And the Kernels are in more hot water here in the fifth inning. Runner at second, nobody out. Kernels trail 7-1. First pitch by Randy Roth. Ground ball hit sharply to second. The pitch to Brandon Yarborough, and Brandon does his job as he gets Randy Roth to third. Brandon Yarborough hit the ball hard on the ground to Dallas Morris at second. Dallas threw out Yarborough. One away, runner at third for the swing. And, Belle, I'm sorry I had to interrupt you to catch up with the action. How close do you live to Madison?
My mom doesn't live too close, but she lives close to Harrison.
I'm sorry. You're. Go ahead, honey. There was a man speaking on the loudspeaker. I couldn't hear you.
My mom, we are in Madison, but we live closer to Coolidge.
Okay. So you live a little closer to Coolidge.
Yep.
Now, do you take the bus every day or walk?
I ride a van.
Ride a van. Here's a bouncer to short. Heinle Stacia reaches up and gloves it, fires home, and Randy Roth lowers his shoulder and bowls over Flint Whipke, but Flint holds on. What a play by Flint Whipke as he took a mammoth jolt from Randy Roth, who's a big guy. Matt Wilkerson chopped it to short. Heinle Stacia threw home and got Randy Roth. The play went 6-2, and that was a earth-shuddering collision. Here's a ground ball to short. Takes a bad hop. Stacia fields it, underhands to the second baseman, Morris, and that play went 6-4 to end the swing fifth inning. For Quad City, no runs. They've credited somebody with a base hit. I'm not sure who, but we'll say one hit. There was one Kernel error, and the swing leave one man aboard. They've stranded three. Once again, we're going to keep it right here and finish up our chat with Belle Hansen. Belle, we haven't had a chance to ask you if you have any brothers or sisters.
I have a sister and a brother.
What are their names, honey?
Melanie and Jackson.
And how old are they?
Melanie's 6.
Uh-huh.
And Jackson's 3.
Okay. So Jackson is probably glad he has an older sister. You help take care of him.
Yeah.
Now, my little niece up in Alaska is allowed to watch some videos sometimes. One of her favorites is Monsters, Inc. What are some of your favorite videos?
One of my favorite videos is...
And, honey, if you can't think of one, that's okay, but go ahead if it's at the tip of your tongue.
Freshing Magic.
What magic?
Genie Magic.
Genie Magic. That's a good video. What are your favorite subjects?
I don't know.
Do you like social studies? Spelling?
Yeah, I like spelling.
I bet you're pretty good at that.
Yep.
Now, have you started to learn the computer at your age?
Yes.
You're pretty good at it?
Uh-huh.
Okay. When's your birthday?
December 10th.
You're a December baby. Right before Christmas, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's wonderful. That is wonderful. Do you have a bicycle?
Yes. At Dave's and Nikki's and Grandma Lester's ride bikes at her house.
Well, that's good. It's probably safe.
Yep.
And, honey, I asked Hannah what her favorite food was. She said spaghetti. How about you?
Hot dogs and green beans.
Oh, what a great combination. Hot dogs and green beans. Green beans are very good for you. Here's Stantrell Smith ripping an extra base hit into the left center field alley. Stantrell is on the move. He's racing to second, and he's going to try for third. A good relay is going to get him. He is safe. Stantrell Smith has electrified this crowd with the leadoff triple. A leadoff triple for Stantrell Smith. Wow. Stantrell Smith is 2 for 2 as he triples into the left center field gap. Boy, I was really sweating it when Stantrell decided to go from second to third, but he made it as the relay throw was out of the grasp in the dirt. Daniel Nelson couldn't handle it, and the Kernels have a runner at third with nobody out here in the bottom of the fifth inning, trailing Quad City 7-1. Our guest is Belle Hansen. Her favorite foods, hot dogs and green beans. Mark Trumbo lays off a pitch low and away. Mark popped out to shallow left where the shortstop Luis Cota caught his pop-up in the second. The 1-0 to Mark from the lefty. Inside, ball 2. Belle, do you know if you and your family are going to take a vacation this summer?
I don't know.
I bet you might. Have you ever been to Bloomsbury Farm?
No.
Well, if you read this summer in our reading program, you can earn that. Remember we came to your school?
Yep.
Yeah. Have you read a little bit yet? Or have you had time?
My mom says I'm waiting for summer.
And that's fine. That's what it's designed to be, a summer reading program. Ball 3 to Trumbo. Upstairs with the 3-0 is Adam Daniels, and the Kernels have a big threat brewing here in the fifth inning. Down 7-2. Runners at the corners, nobody out for Travis Schlichting. Well, Belle, as far as your colors go, you have on a beautiful purple jacket. What is your favorite color?
Red and yellow.
Red and yellow. Those are spring colorful colors, aren't they?
Yep.
And do you know, have you ever been to the wonderful new swimming pool at the Cherry Hill Park?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, there's some nice swimming pools around Cedar Rapids, and when you said you live near Coolidge, you may want to see if your parents or grandparents can take you to Cherry Hill Park. Do you enjoy swimming?
Uh-huh.
Good. That's great. Have you taken lessons?
No.
Okay, well, you can learn to swim with or without lessons. A curve inside to Schlichting. Travis wraps one to the left side, backhanded by Cotto. Throw to second, out. Throw to first, not in time. And Travis Schlichting drives home Stantrell Smith to cut the swing lead to 7-2. Travis forces Mark Trumbo, shortstop to second, 6-4. Travis reaches as the throw from the second baseman Martinez, trying to complete a double play, was not in time. Credit Travis Schlichting with his 8th RBI of the year. Well, Belle, does the ice cream man ever come around your neighborhood? And when I was a kid, he used to come around in a big truck with here's a ground ball base hit into right. It almost hit the runner, Schlichting, and Madison Edwards is 2 for 2. Madison Edwards grounds a base hit through the hole of the right side of the swing infield, sending Schlichting to second. Belle, how about that ice cream man? Do you ever hear him?
I hear him sometimes around some other houses.
Yeah. Does he play a calliope, some music, or does he ring a bell?
Music.
Yeah. Now, we're going to have a pitching change. The swing have lifted lefty Adam Daniels. Remember, Daniels had not made a start since April 25th. And after that start, he suffered from a strained hamstring. Let's see who this new pitcher is for Quad City. It's a right-hander. And the new pitcher is Trey Hearn. Trey Hearn, Hearn, takes over. Adam Daniels goes 4 1/3. So far, Daniels has allowed 2 runs on 6 hits. The lefty Daniels struck out none, and he walked 1, 2, 3. So Trey Hearn, a right-hander, takes over. We're finishing up our time with Belle Hansen, a first grader at Madison. She told us the nickname of the school is the Madison Mustangs. And, Belle, what time do you get up to go to school every day?
I don't know.
Probably around 6:30 or 7. Do you eat breakfast at home?
I eat it at my grandma's.
Cool. What does she feed you usually?
Some toast or cereal or yogurt.
Or yogurt. That's good for you, too. What's your favorite cereal? Mine is Frosted Flakes.
Lucky Charms and Life.
Lucky Charms and Life. Those are both good cereals. Wow. Well, Belle, I was going to ask you also if you like going sledding when it snows out.
Yes.
That's fun, isn't it? Is there a hill by your house?
No, but we do it at school.
You do? Madison has a hill, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's great. Trey Hearn throws a strike to Brad Kuhn. Honey, are there any of your friends who you'd like to say hello to in case their parents are listening on the radio?
I don't think so.
And that's all right. Here's a curve and a swing and a miss by Brad. He's in the hole 0-2. Kuhn tonight has walked and laid down a sacrifice bunt. 7-2 Quad City. We're in the bottom half of the fifth. The lights are on here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, and the Kernels have Schlichting at second, Edwards at first. We haven't had a chance to ask Belle what her mom and dad do. A curve in the dirt, a runner, both runners move up. Good base running by Schlichting and Edwards. A wild pitch on Trey Hearn. The ball deflected off the catcher's the chest protector of catcher Brandon Yarborough. He was reaching down to try to pick it up, and he missed it. Schlichting went to third, Edwards to second. Great base running by the Kernels. Now that gives Brad Kuhn an RBI chance. He's in the hole, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And takes strike 3 called, a fastball. Brad must have been looking for that off-speed curve again because he took that pitch right down the pipe for the second out here in the 5th inning. Well, Belle, I know your father, Todd, is here. Where do your parents work?
Nikki works at... I remember.
That's all right.
I remember where Daddy works. I remember where Mama Karen works. She's not here.
Uh-huh.
I remember that she works at Skogman Realty.
Skogman Realty. That's great you remembered that, Belle. I know you're proud of your parents and your grandma and your brothers and sisters. 1-0 to Heinley Stacia, who's nothing for 2. Boy, it would be a big 2-out hit if Heinley could get one because it would likely pull the Kernels to within 3 runs of Quad City. 2 ducks on the pond for the Kernels, and they're quacking to be driven home. Schlichting at third, Edwards at second. Breaking pitch, low and in, ball 3 to Heinley Stacia. Belle, have you ever played with a yo-yo?
Yes.
Aren't those fun?
Mm-hmm.
How about puzzles? Have you ever put a puzzle together?
Yes. Sometimes 100, sometimes 24.
Okay, that's neat. There's ball... Oh, wait a minute. The scoreboard said 3-0. Instead, it's ball 3 high. It's 3-1 to Stacia. Error on the broadcaster there. It's 3 balls, 1 strike on Heinley with Travis Schlichting at third, Edwards at second. Here in the 5th inning, 7-2 swing. Strike 2 to Heinley. Belle, just by the gleamy look in your eyes, I think you kind of like being on the radio, don't you? You look fascinated by it.
Yes.
There's a lot of folks listening to you, and you're doing a great job. I forgot to have you describe to our listeners, and we'll have you do it in a moment, Belle. Ooh, a swing and a miss on a high fastball, and Heinley Stacia down on strikes. 1 run in the 5th for the Kernels on 2 hits. There were no swing errors, and the Kernels leave 2 men aboard of stranded 3. Belle, before we send you back downstairs with your Madison friends, tell our listeners about your unique sandals. What do they do?
They light up.
That's really neat. Well, Belle Hansen, you've been such a good girl. Tonight, slushies are only $1. And with your dad's permission, you can have that $1 and buy yourself a slushie, okay?
Thank you.
Honey, you're welcome. Thanks to Belle Hansen, our delightful guest from Madison Elementary School. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Our Springhouse trivia question is just around the corner on the horizon. After 5, it's 7-2 swing. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
There's a lot you can do to satisfy your taste for Italian. You can marry one. You, Susan Smith, take Giuseppe Ferrantino. You can drive one. Or you can go to Zio Giano's and feast on Zio's homemade bread, pizzas, and pasta, authentically prepared as Zio Giano's famous Italian style. Zio Giano's for the hometown taste of Italy.
Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes you able. Come to Zio Giano's for Italiano. Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta.
What do I get at Cost Cutters? Hey, my hair is my trademark. I gotta be able to count on a good cut and stuff to keep my hair looking thick, even if it's not.
I get a good cut, no long wait, a smile, and a little something left over in my wallet.
I get little trims that keep my hair long and healthy, and stuff to make it loose and curly one day, straight and sassy the next.
With expert stylists trained in the latest trends and techniques and your favorite professional styling and hair care products, you'll always get what you're looking for at Cost Cutters. At Cost Cutters, you can always count on convenient, affordable, professional care and products that help you create just the style you want. At Cost Cutters, you'll always get a little more.
What do I get at Cost Cutters? A slick, clean cut, great highlights, and a little wig from the hottest stylist I've ever seen.
We're underway in the top of the 6th inning, and the Swinger on top, 7-2. Rafael Cruz pitched around an error in his first inning of work, and left-handed hitting A.J. Van Slyke is 3 for 3 as he drills a single into right field. Van Slyke with a pinch hit leadoff single in the 9th last night to start a 3-run Quad City inning that iced the game, and A.J. Van Slyke is 3 for 3 tonight. Before we get to our Springhouse trivia question, we have a very special guest celebrating a birthday here at the ballpark. She is the friend of the Kernels, King's Materials, and here's a double play ball is third. Schlichting to second, out. Morris to first, out. Double play. The Kernels turn, and around the horn, 5-4-3 double play. Casey Roulette, who was 2 for 2, has hit into a twin killing, bases empty, 2 away here in the 6th inning. Ann Runneberg, representing a big friend of the Kernels, Charlie Rohde and King's Material. King's Material advertises here with a beautiful outfield sign. They have season tickets. They've been a long-time supporter of wholesome, affordable family entertainment. And Ann Runneberg from King's Material has a friend here, Stevie Dallenbach. And Stevie's been recognized by the Kernels this evening in her Section 108 Row J seats. She's here with friends. And I hope you're tuned in because we sure have tried to make it a memorable, fun birthday for your friend, Stevie Dallenbach. A high, lazy fly ball to left. Stantrell Smith underneath it, and he puts it away to end the 6th inning. We'll have our Springhouse trivia question for you in the bottom of the 6th inning. No runs for the Swing. 1 hit, a double play turned by the Kernels. There were no Colonel errors, and Quad City leaves nobody aboard. We want to wish Stevie Dallenbach. She's celebrating her birthday here at the ballpark, and we've tried to make it as special and memorable as we can. Hopefully Stevie will share her experience with Ann Runneberg from King's Material. And thank you so much for thinking of your friend Stevie Dallenbach and her birthday, celebrating it here at the ballpark. And thanks to King's Material. Our Springhouse trivia question is coming up in the bottom of the 6th inning. After 5.5 here at the ballpark, the Swing are leading the Kernels 7-2. You're enjoying Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
With spring comes a sound we're all familiar with, lawnmowers. The Solid Waste and Recycling Department encourages you to mulch your grass this year, though instead of bag. It's a practice known as grass cycling. Why grass cycling? Well, it saves time because you don't have to rake or bag your grass clippings. But it also saves money because those clippings contain essential nutrients, reducing your need for expensive fertilizers. Best of all, grass cycling helps to save landfill space. Do your part. Grass cycle. This message from the Solid Waste and Recycling Department.
Has your spring planning been delayed by uncertain weather? Get started now with a visit to Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center. For the very best plant selection and all the expert advice you'll need to make your plants grow their very best, visit Peck's. The greenhouses at Peck's are bursting with colors, gorgeous hanging baskets, rose bushes, patio plants, and blooming annual plants. Peck's has the newest, best bloomers for sunny and shady areas and the best producing tomato, vegetable, and herb plants. If your spring planning includes new landscaping, contact Peck's for an estimate. Choose your landscaping plants and trees from Peck's acres of expertly cared for tree shrubs, evergreens, and perennials. Visit Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center, where Peck's knowledgeable staff is ready to answer your plant and gardening questions. Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center, celebrating 50 years of growing since 1956. Peck's is located at the corner of Blairsbury and Edgewood Road Northeast.
Jordan Wren's first up against right-hander Trey Hearn in relief of the starter Adam Daniels. Strike one called. We'll be taking your calls here in the bottom of the sixth inning for a chance to earn a $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse Family Restaurant. A breaking pitch on an 0-2 count in the dirt. Jordan, 1 for 2 tonight. 7-2 Quad City, bottom of the sixth inning. If you've been one of our previous 17 Springhouse Trivia Question winners, please do not call in this evening. Certainly play along wherever you're tuned in, but don't call in. And we'll get to the question, but first of all, we want to tempt your taste buds with one of the signature dishes at the Springhouse. Luvita?
The Springhouse offers a French dip beef sandwich for $5.25. This sandwich has thin sliced roast beef that is simmered in its own juice and also served on a French roll with all juice, a dill pickle, and French fries. Once again, the name of this delightful dish is French dip beef sandwich, and it is $5.25.
And let me tell you, that is a treat at the Springhouse. Ball 3 to Wren's. Now Jordan swings and misses. On a slider, Trey Hearn has struck out all 3 batters he's faced so far. And with that in mind, get those dialing index fingers ready to punch your telephone pad. New York City's three major league teams each had a Hall of Fame center fielder in the 1950s. New York City's 3 major league teams each had a Hall of Famer center field. Each had a Hall of Fame center fielder in the 1950s. Which one of those 3 hit the most home runs during that decade of the 50s? 896-7589. Here's a towering pop-up to the right side. Off the bat of Dallas Morris, the second baseman, 5 feet out into the grass in shallow right, has it. Dallas Morris, the second Colonel out here in the sixth inning. Here's our Springhouse trivia question. New York City's 3 major league teams each had a Hall of Fame center fielder in the 1950s. Which one of the 3 hit the most home runs during the decade of the 50s? 896-7589. 896-7589. 896-7589 for your answer to the Springhouse trivia question. A $5 gift certificate to our winner. Clint Whipke takes a strike, and now a pitch low for ball 1. We've had a couple of guesses at our Springhouse question, but no right answers yet as Whipke fouls one toward the Colonel first base dugout, and it lands up into the red seats above that dugout. New York City's 3 major league teams each had a Hall of Fame center fielder in the 1950s. Which one of those 3 hit the most home runs during the decade? Willie Mays has been guessed twice. That is not correct. Yes, he was one of the 3 center fielders in New York City in the 50s. You bet he was. But he was not the man who hit the most home runs in the 50s of the 3. 896-7589. 896-7589. 896-7589, the number to call for the Springhouse Trivia question. Flint Whipke takes ball too low. It's 2-2 on Flint. Now Whipke takes high, ball 3. We've had a guess of Mickey Mantle. Not Mickey Mantle. He was one of the 3 center fielders in the New York City in the 1950s. Which of the 3 hit the most home runs during the 50s? Not Mickey Mantle, not Willie Mays. Here's a swing and a foul straight back. New York City's 3 major league teams each had a Hall of Fame center fielder in the 1950s. Which one of the 3 hit the most home runs during that decade? We've had Mickey Mantle guessed, Willie Mays twice, but neither of them out-homered the 3rd center fielder in New York City. Flint Whipke bloops a foul ball into the first base seats. And we have a winner in our Springhouse Trivia question. We'll be congratulating that winner momentarily. We're in the bottom half of the 6th inning on this beautiful Thursday night, and Quad City leads the Kernels 7-2. Brandon Yarborough went out to the hill to have a word with Trey Hearn, the right-hander. Hearn has retired the first 4 batters he's faced in relief of starter Adam Daniels. The 3-2 to Flint. Strike 3 called. Flint Whipke took a pitch at the knees for strike 3, and that's 4 strikeouts in just an inning and 2/3 for Trey Hearn. Kernels go in order in the bottom of the 6th inning. And after 6, remember, we'll have our Springhouse Trivia question winner for you in just a moment. After 6, it's 7-2 Quad City. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Sylvia, you know that cruise you've always wanted?
Yeah?
Well, there it is.
That would be our house, Bob. Are you feeling all right, dear?
Well, this is so cool. Guarantee Bank will let us use the equity in our home to do just about anything we want. College tuition, a room addition, a cruise, and best of all, the interest may be tax deductible. Now, do you see it? Ah, the sun, the waves, the tropical breezes.
Ooh, now I see it. It's a convertible. The sun on my face, the wind in my hair.
See your guarantee banker in Cedar Rapids, Marion, or Hiawatha, and use the equity in your home to do whatever you want, even if it's just to get out of the house.
The feel of the road, the roar of the engine.
The roar of the...
Hey, it's my kind of life. Keep your hands off my Porsche, body boy.
Guarantee Bank.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Consult your tax advisor for interest deductibility. Some restrictions apply.
If you're looking to enhance your property's appearance, function, or value, make the experts at King's Materials your most reliable teammate. Retaining walls? You bet. Custom patios? Bingo. Walkways and steps? King's Material says yes. King's Material has all the brick, concrete, and stone elements to make your landscaping, masonry, and architectural projects become a reality. To view the astonishing array of beautiful and innovative products King's Material can bring to your home, yard, or business, visit King's online at kingsmaterial.com.
We are delighted to have the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim Player Development Director Tony Regan share some time with us. Tony, it's always great to have you in town, and this season so far for the parent club hasn't gone quite as well as hoped, but the good part is nobody in the West is really pulling away with anything, and here's a ground ball to third and underneath the glove of Travis Schlichting, and it's going to be an error on the Colonel third baseman. Jose Martinez reaches for the 3rd time. Tony, I thought we'd start with the big club because we have some great news about former Kernels, but without Bartolo Colon and Darren Erstad, runs have been hard to come by for the big club.
They have. They've had trouble scoring runs early this season, and that's been an issue, and we're trying to address that, and hopefully they can put things together and bat starts getting hot, and then we take off from here.
And that's the key, is to stay near the 500 mark. Ultimately, the Angels are going, like the Kernels, are going to have to climb to the 500 mark, because you can't really think of yourself as a real contender till you get there. But as Pete Rose used to say, he never really looked at the standings till after school got out.
Right. And that's the key. If you can just stay close and hopefully your pitching comes together and your offense starts to take off and you continue to play solid defense, you're right in the hunt, when it counts down in September and October.
I believe Rafael Cruz may have been charged with a balk. I did not see exactly what happened that allowed Jose Martinez to go to second. Here's a big swing and a miss by Colby Rasmus. Well, let's start on the pitching front, Tony. Former Colonel Irvin Santana was really, Bill Stoneman credited Irvin's emergence last year as a rookie 12-game winner as the reason the Angels won the AL West. And Santana, I don't have a chance to follow the big leaguers nearly as much as I should or like to, but Irvin's had a pretty good start, hasn't he?
He has. He's pitching with confidence. I think he's now figuring that he belongs in the big leagues and really not intimidated anymore. I think every start out now he's competing out each time out and throwing the baseball well and doing a solid job for us. He's one of our mainstays in the rotation right now.
Yes, he is, as is former Colonel John Lackey. The 0-2 to Colby Rasmus. From Cruz, it's a cut fastball low and in. John Lackey is, not to make too big a leap in comparison, but one of my boyhood heroes was Bob Gibson, and Bob was an ultimate competitor. John Lackey's a fierce competitor.
Lackey is. He competes each time out, and he's all business when he takes the mound, and like Bob Gibson, he is a fierce competitor, and when Bob was on the mound, you didn't mess around there.
No.
So
he'd snarl at you.
He would, and Lackey is the same way, and he's our front of the line rotation guy right now, and hopefully he can get a win tonight.
Oh, he's pitching tonight. Great. Colby Rasmus on a 2-2 delivery, checks his swing and did so just in time. This kid is really impressed in this series. A first-round pick by the Cardinals, 19 years old, has a single, a sacrifice fly, and a fly out to left. A runner at second, Jose Martinez, top of the seventh. 7-2 swing. They've out-hit us 10-6 as Rafael Cruz has run the count full. He steps off. After this next pitch, we'll ask Tony what the prognosis or condition of Bartolo Colon, last year's Cy Young Award winner, is. The 3-2 is nubbed foul into the Colonel first base dugout. How's Bartolo progressing, or what's his status, Tony?
Bart's progressing. His rehab is going well. He's long tossing, I think, 180 feet now for 10 minutes, and
great.
He's progressing. He threw off the mound the other day. Nothing that was real long or real hard. Just getting back on the mound, and hopefully it's not too long before he's back.
That's great news, because with him in the rotation, it just every fifth day, you have a chance to win. Just like when we send out Nick Adenhart, or really any of our starters this spring have done the marvelous work. A swing and a foul by Rasmus. Now, Tony, we'll start around the diamond. I know it was a big loss losing Benji Molina, and he's with Toronto now. And I want to make a comparison before we start around the horn, starting with Jeff Mathis. I'm a huge Cardinal fan, and when Keith Hernandez first came up, he scuffled for 2 times. Here's a line drive past first. Boy, that Colby Rasmus is some prospect. And he drives home Jose Martinez. The ball rolls into the corner. Rasmus stops as Madison Edwards gets it back in. Colby Rasmus now has 8 hits in this series, and we're only in Game 3. Rasmus on a 3-2 pitch, lined it past first into the right field corner for an RBI double. Keith Hernandez struggled not once but twice before he really felt comfortable in the big leagues and went on to have a near Hall of Fame career. Jeff Mathis, from all accounts, Tony, his catching game was very solid, wasn't it?
It was. There's a couple of times where he had some mental lapses that cost a couple of runs and maybe even a couple of ball games, but Jeff is a competitor. He wants to do well, and I think he wants to do well, right away.
Yes.
Put a lot of pressure on himself, and didn't work out the first time down, the first time up, and unfortunately got sent back down. But we think Jeff is going to be in our organization for a long time. A solid player. He's done it throughout the minor leagues, and we think he'll do it in the major leagues as well.
Tony, you bring up a very good point. It is a lot of young players when they get to the big leagues reaching their ultimate goal. First of all, it's the highest level of baseball in the world. Secondly, everyone tends to put pressure on themselves to perform. That's human nature. We all want to do well, and sometimes taking a step back, in the case of Jeff getting back to AAA, sometimes that's just a necessary taste of medicine or a dose of it turns out to be helpful.
It does, and you know, that's a part of the game, and it's not easy being in the big leagues, because if it was easy, everybody'd be in the big leagues.
Exactly.
So it's, you know, you have to take your lumps and figure it out, make your mental adjustments, and then let your ability take over. And like I said, I think Jeff he has a lot of ability, and
yes.
He's going to be fine.
Yes, he will. Rafael Cruz's 0-2 is slapped into right. Madison Edwards has it on one hop and hits the cutoff man, Mark Trumbo, to hold Colby Rasmus at third. And the Swing are tattooing the baseball tonight to the tune of 12 hits. Randy Roth went the other way and dropped it in front of Madison Edwards for a hit. First and third, nobody out, and the Swing leading at 8-2 here in the seventh inning. The Kernels get a right-hander up in their bullpen, Tim Madison. Tony, the good news about Jeff's going back to AAA is it opened up an opportunity for another former Kernel catcher, Mike Napoli, and most of our listeners, I think, know what Mike achieved in his first Major League at-bat.
Yeah, Mike homered in his first Major League at-bat, and I think that was an exciting time for him, and he's caught well for us.
Good.
He's been up, really come in and handled the pitchers well, communicating well with our pitchers, which we really...
a chopper to second, fielded by Morris, underhand to the shortstop station, Heinley on to first, and the Kernels turn their second double play of the evening. No RBI for Brandon Yarborough as Colby Rasmus scored on the 4-6-3 double play, started by Morris, and Brandon Yarborough's 0 for 4 now. Well, that's great news about Mike. You know what I remember about Mike Napoli, Tony, is he thought he could play in the big leagues.
Yeah,
and that's half the battle.
It is. He's a very confident player, confident in his ability, and a tough player.
Yes,
so,
he is.
He handles, like I said, he handled our pitching staff well at the Major League level, and he's done a solid job since he's been up.
Is he splitting time with Jose Molina?
He is. Right now he's splitting time with Jose, and when he gets his opportunity, he's in there, and he's done a good job.
Super. Now up to first base. I know it hasn't been the greatest start for Casey Kochman, and I understand he's been shelved by a virus.
Yeah, it's been called mononucleosis.
Oh.
So he's having a tough time with that. Just no strength. All his strength has been drained out of his body, and is really having a tough time with that. But hopefully he can get through that here in the next month or so and come back strong and ready to help our club.
Yes, and Casey, of course, is one of the best pure hitters. He has great plate discipline, and I'm glad, not that I'm glad it's mononucleosis, I'm glad it's not something in the way of a broken bone or anything.
Right. Hopefully that virus will pass and his health will come back and he'll be okay.
Strike three called to Matt Wilkerson. That does it for the Swing in the seventh inning. 1 run on 2 hits, 1 Kernel error, and the Quad City Club leaves, nobody aboard. Lindale Dental Care is now going to bring this big crowd to a wonderful baseball tradition. Lindale Dental Care sponsors the singing of the 7th inning stretch. Let's listen in as this big crowd from Bowman Woods and Madison stand up. Lindale Dental Care bringing us the singing of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. We're going to keep it right here. Tony Regans is visiting the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim Player Development Director. And Tony, we got great news going to second base about former Colonel Howie Kendrick, who's hit over 360 at every level of the minor leagues. I apologize to you and our listeners. I'm not sure how many at-bats Howie got, how he did, but I know that I think he's back with AAA. It was great to see Howie get the call. What was your impression of how he did in his few weeks with the big club?
Howie, he got about 20 at-bats, I believe, with the big club, and really wasn't able to get consistent at bats. He'd play one game and then sit for 2 or 3 and then, play a game. So that's foreign to him. He's normally getting consistent bats every day, getting 4 at bats every day. And he didn't swing the bat well, but he ended up getting sent down to AAA and has picked up where he left off in AAA, and he's doing well there. But I think his time will come.
Definitely.
He's a guy that can definitely swing the bat and has swung the bat his entire minor league career, and that's what our expectations are for him in the future, and hopefully an opportunity will break for him real soon.
I'm sure it will, as Stantrell Smith, who has 2 of the Kernels' 6 hits, fouls the first pitch away from Trey Hearn. The Kernels haven't been able to solve this right-hander from Corpus Christi A&M down in Texas. A 28th round pick by St. Louis, right-hander Trey Hearn, Hearne, misses inside to Stantrell Smith. Well, let's go over to shortstop. We enjoyed the combination of Eric Ibar and Alberto Callaspo here just a few seasons back. Callaspo's in the Diamondback organization doing well, and here's a big curve, a strike to Stantrell, and he's in the hole 1-2. Todd Brummelkamp, our media relations director, shared some very exciting news with me, Tony, before the game. Eric Ibar is in the big leagues.
Eric is in the big leagues, and the main reason he's there now is to provide some depth at shortstop for Orlando Cabrera. When Cabrera needs a day off, Ibar will step in there and give him that break. But, he's in there, and
here's a ground ball to deep short and a backhanded play by Luis Cotto. He throws out Stantrell Smith. We will get back to our Springhouse trivia question in just a moment. We haven't had a chance to congratulate Gary Gruwell, but let's finish up Tony's thoughts about Eric Ibar. Can you imagine how Eric must have felt when he got the call, Tony?
Yeah, it's an exciting time, and I've had the chance to deliver the news on some occasions, and the kids are elated, and we're elated for them, and the scouts are elated because it's that's what they've worked their whole lives to do.
That's the pinnacle to make it.
Yeah, and they've achieved something that they've tried to do all their life, and now it's that day, and the day's come, and they're in the big leagues, and it's good stuff.
Strike 2 call to Mark Trumbo. And it's 6 in a row now retired by right-hander Trey Hearn. We're going to repeat our Springhouse trivia question and share the answer that Gary Gruwell provided us with. A pitch in the dirt to Trumbo. New York City's three major league teams each had a Hall of Fame center fielder in the 1950s. We asked you to tell us which one of the 3 hit the most home runs during the decade of the 50s. And Gary Gruwell identified Duke Snider. Duke hit 326 home runs, outpacing Mickey Mantle, who hit 280 in the 50s, and Willie Mays, who belted 250 home runs in the 1950s. Duke Snider, the answer to our Springhouse trivia question. In fact, Duke hit more home runs than any player in the 1950s. Mark Trumbo takes strike 3 called, and that is, 5 strikeouts for Trey Hearn. The Kernels just look a little bit out of sync at the plate tonight, having fallen behind. It's always tough to play from behind. So the swinger on top 9-2 here in the bottom of the 7th, and Tony Regans, the Angel Director of Player Development, is with us. Tony, on to third base, Dallas McPherson got a chance to play last year and did well, and this season Dallas had a rough start, and Mike Scioscia, I think, probably did the best thing for Dallas's young career, and that was let him get his confidence back. How's Dallas doing at AAA, and what do you think will be his prognosis?
Dallas was called up last week.
Oh, great. He's back up.
He's back up. He started to swing the bat and get his timing and get his swing back together, and had homered in 4 straight games, and there was an offensive need at the major league level, and Dallas stepped in, and now he's playing first base for the time being. And
is he comfortable there?
And he's doing well.
Good.
He got some time at first base in the minor leagues, and he did well over there, and he came up to the major leagues and is doing a good job. And hopefully he can keep his swing intact, and the offense production can come.
Oh, that's great. Here's a worm burner off the bat of Travis Schlichting to third. Daniel Nelson throws out the Colonel third baseman, and 8 in a row out of the bullpen retired by Trey Hearn for the swing. We'll finish up with Tony Regans, and he has been kind enough to join us, and he'll stay with us for the top of the 8th inning here at the ballpark, where the Swing are on top of the Kernels after 7, 9-2. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Jumpstart your future with learning from Kirkwood Community College. No matter what your age or previous work experience, you have new opportunities as close as your phone. 398-5517. Kirkwood has hundreds of choices for career and technical programs. Kirkwood has financial aid and support options to help you succeed, and Kirkwood has locally based centers to help you balance work, family, and learning. Kirkwood is ready when you're ready. Call Kirkwood Admissions today. 398-5517. Kirkwood. Start here, go anywhere.
Convenience and trust, two things all of us want. At Tri-State Travel, we offer both. It's convenient for you to make one call or one visit to our office for all your travel needs. A one-day tour, a cruise, a trip to Branson, to charter a motor coach. For 66 years, Tri-State Travel has been a name you can trust to provide quality products. Come see why you can trust us to provide the convenience you expect. Tri-State Travel now at our new location on 7th Street Southwest.
When it comes to auto insurance, Westside Agency in Palo, your professional Pekin insurance agency, will make certain you're properly insured with the right coverages and deductibles. Westside Agency will tell you about the money-saving discounts from Pekin Insurance. Multi-car discount, good student discount, loss-free discount, 45-plus auto discount, auto home discount, low mileage discount. To see if you qualify for any of these auto discounts that will lower your premiums, visit Westside Agency in Palo.
We have a U.S. Cellular call to the Colonel bullpen. Tim Madison is on. Tim is a right-hander, and he takes over for Rafael Cruz. Rafael went 3 innings, surrendered 2 runs, none earned on 4 hits, fanned 1, walked none. Tim Madison, a right-hander from Florida, 1-2, 6.06 ERA. He's on for the 13th time, has 2 saves. Tim has pitched 16 1/3 innings, allowed 24 hits, struck out 13 and 16 1/3, walked only 3. Right-hander Tim Madison will face the lower third in the Quad City order here in the top of the 8th, and the Swing lead it 9-2. Tony Regans is with us, and he's talking about the honor roll, the parade of former Kernels who are helping the big club in their 2006 campaign out in Southern California. And Tommy, my mind's on Tommy. Tony, another real gratifying. My heart just almost bulged out of my chest in pride when Tommy Murphy got the call. That kid has worked so hard. You're always going to get a maximum effort from Tommy Murphy. And how's he doing with the big club?
He's doing well. He's getting a lot of playing time in center field. He's just worked his butt off, and that's really key for Tommy. Obviously, played a lot of shortstop coming up through the organization, and we sent him out to center field, and he was a natural out there. And he's a 5-tool player, and really exciting, and done a great job for us. Did a great job at AAA, and is doing a solid job at the major league level right now.
That's wonderful news. Luis Cotto is ahead 2-1. The right-handed batter, 0-for-2, walked and scored in the Swing 5-run fourth. In fact, he drew a 2-out walk, and that proved to be the undoing of Colonel starter Tommy Mendoza. Strike 2 from Tim Madison. I'll tell you what, Tony, we were here when Tommy was asked by the Angels to learn how to switch hit, and there were a lot of growing pains. I tried to brush my teeth left-handed once just to see what Tommy was going through, not trying to hit a baseball, but man, that is some athlete that can adapt, adjust, and Tommy he was discouraging for a while, but he stuck with it.
And that's his determination and his athleticism. Like you said, it's not easy to do, but Tommy did it and is doing well.
Swing and a miss on a high fastball by Luis Cotto. Tim Madison strikes out the number 7 hitter. 1 away here in the 8th inning. 9-2 in favor of the Swing. And boy, I'll tell you, Tony, with the success of the Angels under the Bill Stoneman and Mike Scioscia reign, it's just I think what gratifies me the most, or what pleases me the most, are two things. One, the kind of human beings the Angels have in the organization, first-class people of integrity. Second, that Bill Stoneman and Mike Scioscia have a plan. There is a way that they want the game to be played, and you can't say that for every major league organization. Some flounder about who their identity is.
I think that's true. Bill and Mike, they're both on the same page, and we try to implement what they want to do at the minor league level so that our players are ready and know what to expect once they get to the major league level. But we're going to play the game. We're going to be aggressive. We're going to do things the right way, go hard all the time, and then let the chips fall where they may. But we're going to be aggressive each night out.
A.J. Van Slyke draws a walk, 1 on, 1 out. It has to be such a good story in Southern California, Tony, the resurgence of Tim Salmon.
Timmy has really been a key part of our offense there in Anaheim. He's swinging the bat just so well. His bat speed is there, his timing is there, his power is there, and he's been away from the game for a while, but he looks like he hadn't missed any time.
Here's a deep drive belted into the left center field gap by Casey Roulette, and he'll drive home the man who walked A.J. Van Slyke to make it a 10-2 Quad City lead. Casey Roulette, the number 9 hitter, a 172 average, has 3 hits tonight. Boy, he really got a pitch in his wheelhouse, and I mean he socked it in between Stantrell Smith and Brad Kuhn, and that scores A.J. Van Slyke and makes it 10-2. Tony, I'm not putting you on the spot, but I want to know your gut feel. When somebody like you or Bill Stoneman visits, it would be normal, wouldn't it, for our guys to try a little too hard or press, or do you try to not even, I'm just saying, and not because we're taking our lumps tonight, but do they try extra hard to show you what they can do?
I think that there's times when they would press a little bit when we come to town, but I try to put them at ease, and I'm not going to make any decisions to send them home tonight or the next week or so, but
yeah,
I really try to make them comfortable around me as far as, being approachable and asking any questions that they might have, because they're learning. We understand that they're learning, and this is what development is all about. They're going to take their lumps, but at the same time, they're going to develop and they're going to get better, and that's what we're trying to create.
That's exactly the whole goal, is to improve. 0-2 to Daniel Nelson. Runner at second, 1 away. We're in the top of the 8th inning. Tony Regans, Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim farm director, is with us. There's a pitch upstairs, and Daniel Nelson leans back. Well, Tony, I'll tell you what, that Rancho Cucamonga Ball Club, under the guidance of Bobby Mitchell, they've done some nice things this spring, the former Kernels from a year ago.
They're doing well. They've dropped the last couple of games, but they pitched and swung the bats very well. Bobby has a playing aggressive style, and just like we're trying to teach throughout the organization, and they're swinging the bats, getting timely hits, and pitching well. And if you can do those two things, you're probably going to have some success.
The 2-2 to the switch hitter is a curve, and it's fouled straight back into the plexiglass of the umpire's doors. Thanks to Todd Brummelkamp, our media relations director, we get reports. We call them Halo happenings. And, boy, Australian Michael Collins got a chance to play in the second half last season, and did he ever have a great second half. And looks like Michael's picked up right where he left off here in Cedar Rapids.
Michael, he's a tremendous worker. Work ethic is off the charts, and he was here in Cedar Rapids last year and basically took the starting catcher's job.
Yes, he did. A chopper to first. Mark Trumbo, a fine play to backhanded at his feet, and he feeds Tim Madison, the pitcher, for the out at first. Daniel Nelson bounces out, first base to pitcher covering. 2 away here in the swing 8th inning. Casey Roulette went from second to third. Oh, I'm glad you mentioned Michael's work ethic and his determination. Bobby Magallanes thinks he could play if he finds the right position. He thinks there might be a place later in his career for Michael in the big leagues.
That's true. I think that there's a chance. There's always a chance when you can swing the bat. And he's shown that he can swing the bat and put up offensive numbers. And being able to catch, play first base, and if he can go over to third and just give us some decent, at bats over there for third base, he should be okay.
Jose Martinez bounces one to Travis Schlichting. Travis has had a bit of a tough go of it at the hot corner tonight, but he looked fluid and comfortable as he gloved it and threw the batter out. In the 8th inning, 1 run for Quad City on 1 hit. There were no Colonel errors. The swing leave a runner aboard. They've stranded 4. Tony, you're here until when?
I'm leaving on Saturday morning, heading back to California, and then from there I go to Salt Lake City. So making my rounds.
Well, that's wonderful. Now, I'm going to ask you, Luvita Hill is standing by in the wings, but she has plenty that she can help us with in the 9th inning. Would you feel comfortable staying 1 more half inning?
JR, whatever you need.
All right. Sounds good, Tony. We go to the bottom of the 8th, and the Kernels trail the swing 10-2. This is Colonel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles, backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odyssey. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
A southpaw for the swing comes on. Danny Bourne, B-O-R-N-E, and his sweeping curveball is a strike to Madison Edwards. Bottom of the 8th, and it's a 10-2 lead for the swing. Right-hander Trey Hearn pitched 2 2/3 innings of commanding relief. No runs, no hits, fanned 5, walked none. Danny Bourne is from the University of Louisiana Monroe, and he drops a curveball in, and Madison Edwards steps out. Madison, 2 for 2 tonight. Tony Regans, Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim Player Development Director, is alongside. And Tony, we're going to switch gears for just a moment. You are considered in baseball, here's a pitch low, a minority. At Wrigley Field this afternoon, Jackie Robinson's granddaughter sang the 7th inning, Take Me Out to the Ball Game. You are a study in itself of perseverance and hard work and taking advantage of an opportunity that was given to you years ago. And I wondered if you could tell our listeners a little bit about how you rose to this prominent position in baseball and where you started.
I think timing is really important in my rise to where I am now. I started as an intern under Bill Bavasi, who really gave me my opportunity to get in development, and just kind of worked my way up over the years. And I've been in the organization for 15 years now.
15 years, Tony.
Been
That's
a long
quite
time.
a milestone.
That is. And
congratulations.
Thank you. And now 5 years as the farm director, and we think that we've done a pretty good job as far as developing our players. And again, it's just perseverance and trying to do the right thing and keep your nose clean and playing, just giving the best effort that you can each day out.
Well, that's his formula for success, you're right, in business, athletics, volunteer work, really anything, school. Ball 4 to Madison Edwards. He reaches with a leadoff walk. He's on for the 3rd time in a row, and now Brad Kuhn bats. And a visit to the hill by Brandon Yarborough to talk it over with Danny Bourne. Tony, you mentioned timing. It's difficult to get an internship in minor league baseball or Major League Baseball. How did you approach Bill Bavasi? Did you send him a letter, a resume? Did you walk up to the office in Anaheim and introduce yourself?
At that time, we had a program, an internship program, they had about 50 to 100 people in the.
There's a ground ball to deep third. What a backhanded play by Daniel Nelson, and he throws in the dirt, but Randy Roth, the first baseman, dug the peg out of the dirt. Brad Kuhn is thrown out by the third baseman. Madison Edwards advancing to second. 1-on-1 out here in the 8th inning. Tony, 10-2 in favor of the swing. Tony, you said there were 50 applicants?
Yeah, and we all met at the press box at Angel Stadium at that time, and we all had a chance to get up and speak and had career goals, and basically the brass at that time made a decision as to who they wanted as an intern, and I was fortunate to get the opportunity. And
so essentially it was an audition.
It basically was an audition. And
wow.
And, just fresh out of college and had my resume together and nervous and all of that. But
yes.
It worked out. The first year I worked for the Angels. I worked for free. The second year I think they paid me $500. So
yep. Sounds familiar.
That's taking your lumps and paying your dues, and 15 years later here I am.
Well, that's a great story, Tony. My my mom and sister, brother-in-law, and niece got to visit Palm Springs, California about 3 weeks ago, and I want to talk about that for a moment as a 3-0 pitch to Heinley Stacia is a strike. It's 10-2 swing. Bottom of the 8th inning, the Kernels have a runner at second with one away, and lefty Danny Bourne delivers. Ball 4, Heinley Stacia reaches for the first time. 2-on-1 out here in the Kernel 8th inning, and here's the leading RBI man, Jordan Renz. You told me a couple years ago, Tony, that I think you grew up in Indigo, California?
Indio, yeah.
I-N-D-I-O?
That's right.
Is that near Palm Springs?
Yeah, it's about 20 miles east of Palm Springs. Actually, Steve Howell was just killed in Coachella, which is about 2 miles from Indio.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. And I think you told me Indio is an agricultural community.
It is. Big, it's the date capital, and that's the fruit.
Yes.
The date capital of the world, basically, is what it's famous for.
Well, that's neat. I wanted to see where my mom and sister and brother-in-law and niece were, and I got the map out of Southern California, and I saw Palm Springs, and there, right within quarter of an inch of it, was Indio.
Indio.
I'm sorry. I'll have to visit someday. Indio, California.
That's right. Summers, we got 120-degree summers, so...
A pass ball off the mid of Brandon Yarborough. Edwards to third and Stacia up to second. 120-degree summers. Tony, how did you deal with that as a kid? Did you go outside and play baseball, or how did you live with that?
We played baseball in the summer, and it was just like it was 70 degrees. You didn't know any different. That's all you knew, so you just went out there and played. And it was a fun time growing up playing the game. And football season was in August and very humid at that time during the year. And
a pitch rifled foul down the left field line by Renz for strike one.
But like you said, we didn't know any different, so didn't bother us at all.
Tony, I forgot. Where did you go to college?
I went to Cal State Fullerton.
Okay. They produced a lot of great professional ball players.
Yeah, there's a few.
Yeah. I think, trying to think if Corey Snyder went there. A lot of great players, though. 2-1 to Jordan Renz. Ball 3 higher was time called. A balk has been called, and the Kernels score their third run, the second of the night, on a balk. So Danny Bourne balks home. Madison Edwards in the swing. Lead now is 10-3. A balk charge to lefty Danny Bourne. Stacia goes from second to third. Tony, we have some good news about if all the weather cooperates and the timing permits. And this is not any guarantee or assurance, but it is likely that Mike Socia may be able to visit Cedar Rapids in early August. Is that still a possibility?
That is definitely a possibility. We've talked about it, and Mike is going to arrange a schedule where on an off day he can get out here, and it should be a good time for the fans of Cedar Rapids to see the Major League manager up close and personal and ask questions and get autographs. And Mike he's excited about coming out.
Well, that's wonderful. A payoff pitch to Renz inside, almost hit Jordan. Jordan Renz is the third man to walk here in the Kernel 8th inning. Kernels down by 7, 10-3. First and third. one out, and here comes Keith Mitchell, the skipper of the Quad City Ball Club, out to the hill. Tony, last year we had, or finally a thought about Mike Socia. It looked, the date we're shooting for is August 7th.
Yeah, that's correct. And if everything works out, and I think it will, that's when he'll be in. And like I said, you'll get a chance to meet him and ask questions, and he'll sign autographs. And I think this will be his first time in Cedar Rapids, and we're looking forward to it.
I think he'll love it. He played in the Midwest League in 1977 with the Clinton Dodgers. A teammate of his was Mickey Hatcher.
Those two are joined at the hip, let me tell you.
I thought they might be. Oh, they kind of their personalities complement each other. Mickey's kind of a clubhouse joker, and Mike's on the serious side. Here's a high fly ball into right center by Dallas Morris. The center fielder, Colby Rasmus, has it, and it's a sacrifice fly for Dallas Morris. He drives home the second Kernel run of the 8th inning with a sacrifice fly. Heinle Stacia crosses the plate to make it 10-4 swing. That RBI, the 15th of the year for Dallas Morris. Tony, Drew Toussaint impressed us last year, and I understand Drew was a product of what's called the RBI program. In fact, he told me he played at Jackie Robinson Stadium, I believe, in Compton, California. Are you familiar with the RBI program?
Yeah, the RBI program is a program that Major League Baseball has put together, and John Young is basically spearheads that program, and a bunch of kids from the inner cities are learning the game at the grassroots level. And
here's a deep foul off to the left by Flint Whipke, home run distance onto the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion. I've never met John Young, but I understand he's a pretty special man.
He is, and he's really did a good job with the program, and like you said, Drew Toussaint is a product of that program, and Coco Crisp, who's with the Boston Red Sox, was probably, I think he's the first major leaguer to make it out of the program, and really talented young kids in that program, and Major League Baseball and John Young have done a terrific job with it.
I hope Drew's continuing his climb towards his goal. A changeup is outside, 2 out. 1 on, a 2-2 count to Flint Whipke, who's nothing for 2 tonight with a walk. The swinger on top, 10-4 here in the lower half of the 8th inning. Lefty Danny Bourne has his sign, and he comes set. The 2-2. Flint takes a curve just inside, ball 3. Tony, our time is dwindling here in the bottom of the 8th. We're going to bring Luvita Hill, our broadcast assistant, back aboard for the 9th inning, and she'll help us recognize the groups that are here this evening. The payoff pitch with the runner going, and Whipke fouls it straight back. I hope your first visit, one of 2 or 3 this spring and summer to Cedar Rapids, Tony, has gone well. On behalf of the Kernels and our community, we think the world of how you guys operate as a system, and the proof is that we have the longest affiliation of any team in the Midwest League with a parent club.
We enjoy being associated with the Kernels, and hopefully the feelings are mutual. I think that we try to bring productive ball players here in the community, and hopefully they can reach out and visit the schools and do some community, things that really help the organization and help the community. And
Tony, they do that every day, and that's why I get back to you guys look into a kid's character before you even think about signing him. There goes Renz, and a nubber off the fist of Whipke, charged by the second baseman, and Jose Martinez throws Flint Whipke out to end the Kernel 8th. The Kernels strike for a pair on, no hits, 3 walks, a balk, a pass ball. There were no Quad City errors, and the Kernels leave 1 man aboard. Well, Tony, enjoy the rest of your visit here. Thank you for always being so willing to visit. You're an upbeat guy. That rubs off to the players. You can't replace optimism and integrity, Tony, and that's who you are.
Thank you, and it's always a pleasure being in Cedar Rapids, and looking forward to seeing you guys later in the year.
Sounds great. Tony Regans, Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim Player Development Director. He's one of the best, the very best in the business. After 8, 10-4 swing. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
The next time you catch yourself about ready to throw away a glass jar or glass bottle, stop. Glass jars and bottles are recyclable. Simply rinse out your glass, put the lids in your blue recycling box, and place the glass items in a plastic container. A plastic bucket or small plastic wastebasket will do just fine. Use one plastic container for clear glass and a second separate container for colored glass. Set your plastic container or containers with your glass in them next to your blue recycling box for curbside collection. Remember, glass is recyclable.
Hi, I'm Gary Dolphin. You know, Hometown Restyling has served Eastern Iowans since 1986, providing the very finest in windows, siding, and sunrooms. Their experienced staff can handle the job from start to finish, including plans, permits, and inspections. Plus, Hometown Restyling is nationally recognized by Professional Remodeler, Qualified Remodeler, and Remodeling magazines. Call Hometown Restyling for your next remodeling project, or better yet, visit one of our beautiful showrooms in Hiawatha or Coralville. Hometown Restyling, because there's no place like home.
Technology pervades every aspect of our daily lives. This remarkable age we live in has a machine or a computer to meet almost all of our needs. But you won't find a technological device that can provide you with the personal attention for something as important as insurance. Neighbor Insurance Services, your professional Pekin insurance agency in Hiawatha, is trained on all insurance matters, including how much coverage is enough coverage. For personal attention to all of your insurance needs, see the insurance professionals at Neighbor Insurance Services in Hiawatha.
We're underway in the top of the ninth inning, and Tim Madison is missed upstairs with a breaking pitch to Colby Rasmus, who has torn the Kernels apart in this series. This 19-year-old prospect for the Cardinals lifts a pitch foul off to the left, strike one. We have a number of groups here this evening, and Luvita Hill will take us around the ballpark and welcome those folks as we roll along here in the top of the ninth. 10-4 swing.
Well, in the stands, we have Bowman Woods Elementary School, who brought along 239 student teachers and parents.
Wow.
And also in the stands, we have Madison Elementary School, who brought along 100 student teachers and parents. And joining them is Shoemaker and Holland. They brought along 28 of their employees.
Swing and a miss by the left-handed batter, Colby Rasmus. He's 2 for 3 tonight with an RBI and a run scored, left-handed batter. And the count 2-2 to the swing center fielder, Colby Rasmus. He's only 19 years old. Tim Madison's 2-2 is lifted in the air to left. Stantrell Smith lost it, now comes in and calls off the shortstop, Heinley Stacia. Colby Rasmus flies to left, one away here in the ninth inning.
Well, in the Randy Kilhoffen Pavilion, we have Taylor School staff, who brought along 60 of their employees. We have Hall & Hall engineers, who brought along 71 of their employees. And Raining Rose, who also brought along 75 of their employees.
Familiar names in the Cedar Rapids community. On the Randy Kielhoffen's Picnic Pavilion in left field, Randy Roth takes strike one from Tim Madison.
In the Miller Mezzanine Terrace, we have Toyota Financial Services with 90 employees here, and Iowa Fluid Power with 114.
And Luvita, most of the folks from Iowa Fluid Power and Toyota Financial Services are still here high above the Colonel first base dugout.
They seem to be enjoying themselves as they chat amongst themselves.
Well, that leads into another important announcement that Luvita will get to in a moment as Randy Roth fouls one past third. That Miller Mezzanine Terrace is one of the best places to enjoy an entertainment experience here at the ballpark. And Luvita, some exciting news about the noon start to wrap up this homestand on Tuesday.
Yes, on Tuesday, May 23rd, the Cedar Rapids Kernels will be opening the Miller Mezzanine Terrace to the public during their game against the Kane County Cougars. For just $11, fans can purchase a ticket to the 12 p.m. game and watch the game from one of the best vantage points at Veterans Memorial Stadium.
Here's a pitch slapped off the end of the bat by Randy Roth, and charging is Dallas Morris, who flips to first. Randy Roth is a goner, 2 away here in the top of the ninth inning. And Luvita, we expect 80-degree weather for the noon start on Tuesday, and that's why we suggested folks want to take advantage of that invitation, the Miller Mezzanine Terrace open to the public. They should call us.
Yes, they should call the ticket office at 896-7560.
896-7560. 2 gone, nobody on as Brandon Yarborough stands in, and he grounds one on 2 hops to the feet of Dallas Morris, who didn't have to move a step, and on to first with it goes Dallas, a 4-3 put out, and Tim Madison retires the swing in order here in the top of the ninth inning. Quad City has out-hit the Kernels 13-6, and as we head to the bottom of the ninth, the Swing are in control 10-4. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Step up to the plate this summer and nominate your favorite Cedar Rapids Kernel for the Rockwell Collins Fans Choice Award. Every time you catch a Kernels game, fill out a Fans Choice ballot to recognize the efforts of your favorite ball players. Then drop the ballot in the designated box at the souvenir stand. During the season's final homestand, Rockwell Collins will present the Fans Choice Trophy to the player with the most votes and make a donation to that player's favorite charity. Rockwell Collins and the Cedar Rapids Kernels, teammates working for a better community.
Here for your communication needs. Internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners who make a good team. Service second to none. South Slope Cooperative Communication.
You've worked hard, and you're finally your own boss. As a business owner, you may not want to hear the word liability, but it comes with the territory. Smart business owners protect their investments with a business owner's policy from Neighbor Insurance Services, your professional Pekin insurance agency in Hiawatha. Neighbor Insurance Services can show you how to secure the right amount of protection for your business at affordable rates. Your business is important. See Neighbor Insurance Services in Hiawatha for business owners insurance.
A new hurler for the Swing. New pitcher for Quad City. And it is Jason Cairns. Cairns, C-A-I-R-N-S, pitched in the series opener here Tuesday night, and he was a winner. No, he wasn't. He was not a winner. The Kernels were 7-2 winners. Jason Cairns on Tuesday in the Kernel 7-2 win pitched 1 inning. Allowed 1 run unearned on no hits, 1 strikeout, 2 walks. I know there are some great folks tuned in as we approach 10 o'clock Eastern Time down in the Miami, Florida area and in Sarasota. And I want to wish them well because Angelinos and Nelson Mendoza have blessed us with their kind, loving friendship the last few days, and I hope they enjoy the rest of their stay here in our great city, Cedar Rapids, and come back and see us again a little later this summer. They are wonderful, gracious people, and you can see why their son Tommy Mendoza is a success not only on the diamond, but where it really counts off the field as well. Just a wonderful family, the Mendozas, and we thank them for helping us the last couple of nights. Nelson's a great baseball man. His high school team on senior pace is in Sarasota, Florida, playing in the Florida State Baseball Tournament. And he's got one fine son, Tommy. Here's a swing and a foul by Stantrell Smith. It's 1-2. We'll play tomorrow the series finale at here's a swing and a miss by Stantrell as Jason Cairns gets Stantrell Smith on strikes. 1 away here in the Kernel 9th inning. 10-4 in favor of Quad City. 6:10 will be our South Slope Communications Triple Play showtime tomorrow. Bobby Magianis will be fielding your baseball questions at 6:10. Top of the hour, 9 o'clock. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on 1450 KMRY Cedar Rapids. Mark Trumbo belts one deep, way back to left. Looking up is the left fielder, Roulette. It's out of here. Mark Trumbo has homered here in the bottom of the 9th inning to cut the swing lead to 10-5. It's Trumbo's 5th home run of the year. He's glad-handed by Colonel skipper Bobby Magianis, on-deck man Travis Schlichting, and the Colonel dugout. That's Trumbo's 5th of the year, and PRC's Community Care steps to the plate to bring Home to Our Communities Hungry in their Home Runs for the Hungry campaign. Trumbo's home run results in PRC's Community Care donating $25 more to the Haycap Food Reservoir to bring food home to the hungry in our community. That home run, the 26th belted by the Kernels this year, now has resulted in $650 being donated from PRC's Community Care to the Haycap Food Reservoir. And that money will be well spent to try to eradicate hunger in this community. Here's a line shot off the third baseman, Daniel Nelson's mitt, and it's a base hit for Travis Schlichting. And that hit the second off of Jason Cairns here in the bottom of the ninth inning. It's Schlichting's second hit of the game. And Travis Schlichting's aboard at first. His one-hop bullet, just too hot to handle at third by Daniel Nelson. And now we have, Angelinos has heard and seen us, and she's waving up here. Angelinos Mendoza wearing a red Colonel jacket, or a red Colonel jersey. Madison Edwards takes up and away for a ball. I'll tell you what, the Kernels aren't through. Trailing 10-5. They have a runner at first with one away here in the bottom of the ninth. Madison Edwards facing Jason Cairns. Takes high, ball 2. Just got to keep those Colonel batters reaching base to have a chance to continue this rally here in the bottom of the ninth inning. Madison shakes his swing in time. Ball 3. Brandon Yarborough takes a trip out to the hill. Well, it's not too late to tell you about the Big Colonel Golf Outing next Wednesday.
The Kernel Foundation is sponsoring a Golf with the Kernels Wednesday, May 24th at noon, and that will be a shotgun start. This outing will take place at Wildcat Golf Course in Shelburne, Iowa.
Madison Edwards lifts the 3-1 pitch foul, and into the swing bullpen. Overrunning it is Daniel Nelson, and the swing have nobody to blame for that except themselves. Nelson was going into friendly territory. The bullpen catcher got out of the way, but he didn't say a word, and Quad City didn't communicate really well on their side of the field. Nelson could have had that one. Yes, Luvita, that event is Wednesday the 24th at Wildcat in Schellsburg, the annual golf outing with the Kernels. Schlichting's running, a high drive into center, and drifting back is Rasmus. He's there and makes the catch. Madison Edwards gave it a ride, but flies to center. 2 gone here in the ninth inning. And folks can call Nelson Mendoza. We will see you tomorrow. Thank you very much, Nelson. Very great to see you again tonight. Jessica Ferguson's phone number is on the sheet, Luvita.
You can contact Jessica Ferguson at 896-7608.
To sign up for the golf outing with the Kernels, Brad Kuhn lifts the first pitch foul onto the grass slope seating berm down the left side, strike 1. 10-5 Quad City. We're in the bottom of the ninth inning. The Kernels have Schlichting at first with 2 away. Luvita will have all the scores for you on the State Farm Major League scoreboard and the Colonel Curtain call. Ball 1 is high to Brad Kuhn. It evens the count 1-1. Brad knuckles it to short. Gloved by Cotto. The long throw to first. And Brad Kuhn is thrown out, and that ends tonight's ball game. Brad Kuhn is bounced out to short. The Kernels in the ninth get 1 run on 2 hits. There were no swing errors, and the Kernels leave 1 man aboard, stranded 5. 10-5 swing. They lead the series now 2-1. We'll tell you about tonight's game, have our PRC play of the game, the State Farm Major League Scoreboard and a look ahead to tomorrow night's action when we return in just a moment for our Colonel Curtain Call. Quad City sinks the Kernels to 3 games below 500 with a 10-5 romp here tonight. Totals, highlights, and more coming next on the Colonel Curtain Call here on the Colonel Radio Network.
Next up, a musical taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a new spin on an old vibe. From me to you, a tasty sip of Dr. Pepper for your ears, and it starts like this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be a pepper?
Now that's cool, but pepper is a little better. So let's slide in a taste of this. Right on. But there's still more to it. I mean, there's nothing like it, because every sip is a kick-and mashup of 23 different flavors. So for the true taste of Dr. Pepper, we dial it up even more. You know it. With 23 flavors mixed into one bold taste, every sip is a cool mix of music to your mouth. Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
Your home is a place for savoring all the good things in life. It's a place for celebrations. It's a place where memories are created. To make sure your home is properly insured, visit Sheets Forest Draper in Marion, your professional Pekin insurance agency. Sheets Forest Draper will give you all important details about homeowners insurance with complete coverages and surprisingly affordable rates. Visit Sheets Forest Draper in Marion for homeowners insurance for your well-lived and well-loved home.
For the Colonel's Curtain Call. Now with a game recap, a complete look at the State Farm scoreboard, and a look ahead to upcoming action. Let's rejoin the voice of the Colonels, John Rogers.
We're back at Veterans Memorial Stadium, where oodles of girls and boys from our 2 school pride schools tonight, Bowman Woods and Madison Elementary, are lined up at first base to run the bases. That's sponsored by Velocity Sports Performance, and those kids are having a blast as members of the Colonel Pep Squad are standing at each base to high-five them. Boy, that's great spirit on the part of the youngsters. Velocity Sports Performance, whose logo is up on the LED board along with St. Luke's. They are wonderfully received as they're getting a power bar from Velocity Sports Performance by our pep squad. The Colonels needed a little more pep tonight as we lost for the second time in this series in succession. Quad City posting their first back-to-back wins in over a month as they won last night 5-1 and turned the trick again tonight 10-5. Tommy Mendoza sailed through the first 2 2/3 innings tonight. In fact, he sailed through the first 2 innings. Tommy surrendered a pair of runs in the swing 3rd inning, and that put Quad City ahead 2-0. The Colonels answered with a run in the 3rd inning. Travis Schlichting singled, one of his 2 hits tonight. Went to second on a base hit on the infield by Madison Edwards. Brad Kuhn then bunted them over, and Schlichting scored on a balk to cut the swing lead to 2-1. The key play as far as the Colonels go offensively, Heinle Stacia then lined into an inning-ending double play started by second baseman Jose Martinez. He threw in behind Madison Edwards at third after he caught the Stacia liner for a double play. Tommy Mendoza got the first 2 in the Quad City 4th inning, but then that dreaded 2-out walk, and the next 4 swing batters reached after the walk to Luis Cotto. A.J. Van Slyke lined a base hit off Tommy's midsection. Tommy remained in the game. Casey Roulette singled into center to play Luis Cotto and make it 3-1. Then Daniel Nelson dumped a single into right field that plated a run. It was 4-1 Quad City, and Jose Martinez capped the Quad City 4th inning with a 3-run homer that gave the swing an insurmountable 7-1 advantage. The only other good news for the Colonels in this game came in the 9th inning. With 1 out, Mark Trumbo belted his 5th home run of the year over the left center field wall, and that made it 10-5 swing. And that home run by Trumbo, his 5th of the year, meant PRC's Community Care's Home Runs for the Hungry campaign kicked in with $25 more to the Haycap Food Reservoir. PRC donates $25 for every Colonel home run this season, and Trumbo's 5th of the year came in the 9th inning, and it was home run number 26 for the Kernels, and that means PRC's Community Care has now donated $650 to the Haycap Food Reservoir in PRC's Home Runs for the Hungry campaign. The final line score, Quad City, 10 runs, 13 hits, no errors. The swing left, 4 men on. The Kernels, 5 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors, and the Kernels left 5. The winning pitcher for the swing out of the bullpen, Trey Hearn, he's 3-1. The Colonel loser was starter Tommy Mendoza. He's now 1-5. The game took 2 hours and 35 minutes to play before a crowd of over 2,000. We'll be back in just a moment and enjoy our PRC play of the game. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Colonel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank, free money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
There's a lot you can do to satisfy your taste for Italian. You can marry one. To you, Susan Smith, from Giuseppe Florentino. You can drive one. Or you can go to Zio Giano's and feast on Zio's homemade bread, pizzas, and pasta, authentically prepared as Zio Giano's famous Italian style. Zio Giano's for the hometown taste of Italy.
Oh, come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes you Zio. Come to Zio Giano's for Italiano. Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes.
Before we get to the PRC play of the game, broadcast assistant Luvita Hill, you never would know by the fun going on down on the field that the swing routed the Colonels tonight 10-5. Describe what's unfolding down below.
The kids from the Bowman Woods Elementary School and Madison Elementary School are running the bases, and they seem to be enjoying themselves very, very much.
Man, Luvita, they sure are. Those kids will never forget this experience from Bowman Woods and Madison. And our pep squad, thanks to Velocity Sports Performance and St. Luke's, are digging into a box of nutritional bars provided by those sponsors. Another great sponsor of Colonel Baseball is PRC, the former Access Direct here in Cedar Rapids. PRC has a fabulous benefit package for you known as Life Essentials. You can learn more about them by visiting PRC's website, www.prcnet.com. They will provide you with medical, dental, vision, and pet insurance, a 401k retirement savings plan, plus a flexible schedule, casual work environment, and a wonderful opportunity to learn and grow at PRC. The Swing had scored 2 runs in the 4th inning to take a 2-0 lead. Check that, 2 runs in the 3rd inning, led it 2-0. They had runners at 1st and 3rd with 2 out, and Tommy Mendoza was on the hill. Here is our PRC play of the game.
Underneath his Colonel White home jersey. And as I said earlier, the Colonels are wearing their all-red hats. Jose Martinez dives back into first as Mendoza threw over there. Brad Kuhn is shifted way around into left center for the Colonels. 1st and 3rd, 2 out. The runner goes. Whipke's throw to second. Cut off. Stacia back home. Runner out. He never reached the plate. Clint Whipke blocked the plate. And Heinley Stacia threw home to get Daniel Nelson to end the inning. The caught stealing of home goes Whipke, Stacia, Whipke, 2-6-2, and I'm telling you, the Colonels could not have executed it in a more big league fashion. That is a difficult play. First, to have your catcher have the gall to throw it to second. Secondly, to have your shortstop cut in front of it, catch it, side and then wing a throw. Heinley's peg was a bit high, but Flint Whipkey blocked the plate with his shin guard, and that prevented Daniel Nelson from scoring. He's gone at the plate.
And we picked that as our PRC play of the game because it meant just a 2-run third inning for the swing. The Kernels bounced back with one in the bottom of the third, but then the swing pulled away with a big 5-run fourth. That's our PRC play of the game. Up next, a complete look at the afternoon and night action on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. You're listening to the Colonel Curtain Call on the Colonel Radio Network.
The hottest feature in beautiful Veterans Memorial Stadium is the coolest place. It's the Whirling Waters Home Run Hot Tub. How can you and your friends relax and splash it up from the most coveted spot at the ballpark? Simply register at Center Point in Westdale Mall and listen. If you're selected as the winner, you'll enjoy the ultimate entertainment experience. AquaJet stream comfort atop the left field wall in the Whirling Waters Home Run Hot Tub. Brought to you by Westdale Mall and by Whirling Waters. Your chance to splash it up.
We're back on the Colonel Curtain Call. It was a 10-5 swing win tonight, their second win in the series. The Colonels will try to break even with a win tomorrow. We'll have a little bit more about the series finale tomorrow night in a moment. Right now, though, we shine the spotlight on State Farm insurance agents Brad Dunn, Dale Thompson, Al Shetler, and Gary Schubat. There was a lot of action this afternoon on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Plenty more tonight, and with all the scores, here's Colonel Broadcast Assistant Luvita Hill.
In the American League this afternoon, the Indians shaded the Royals 6-5 at Jacobs Field. Also, the Tigers knocked off the Twins today 5-3 at Comerica Park. The Rangers dumped the Yankees at Yankee Stadium 6-2, while the A's trounced the Marlins at Coliseum 6-3. The Devil Rays edged past the White Sox at Tropicana Field 5-4. And just now beginning, our parent club, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, are battling the Blue Jays at Angel Stadium with a score of 0-0 in the bottom of the first. In the National League, in the slugfest at PNC Park, the Reds slipped by the Pirates 9-8. At Turner Field, the Braves trounced the Marlins 9-1. The Brewers nipped the Phillies at Miller Park 5-4. And at Busch Stadium, the Cardinals whipped the Mets 6-3. And for the final game played in the National League, the Nationals beat the Cubs at Wrigley 5-3 behind former Colonel star Ramon Ortiz.
Luvita, great. No games tonight in the National League?
No games tonight. They were all played this afternoon.
All right. Fantastic, Luvita. Appreciate that. And it's been another full day for you with the assemblies this morning with Tim DeJurgis and Sonia Massey, and you'll be back with us tomorrow morning as we'll head to Polk and Kenwood Elementary Schools for our Toyota Financial Services Gazette, Culver's Frozen Custard and Butterburgers, Bloomsbury Farm reading program assemblies. Tonight, the swing out hit the Colonels 13-8 and came away with a 10-5 victory. The win puts Quad City ahead in this series, 2-1. Tomorrow evening will be special. Two of the best pitchers in the Midwest League, the Colonel right-hander Nick Adenhart, 6-0, will be opposed by swing lefty Jaime Garcia. Please join us for the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show at 6:10. Bobby Magianis will be fielding your baseball questions, and then we'll have the action for you at 6:30. The gates open at 5:30. Want to thank our two darling first and second grade girls from Madison Elementary and Bowman Woods for joining us this evening, and thanks also to Nelson Mendoza, the father of Colonel starter Tommy Mendoza. The final again here from the ballpark, Quad City 10, the Colonels 5. And for broadcast assistant Luvita Hill, I'm John Rogers, wishing you a very fine rest of your Thursday evening. Once again, the final, the Swing 10, the Colonels 5. You've enjoyed Colonel Baseball here on the Colonel Radio Network.